navigated the gauntlet that is the SEC regular season, and now comes the SEC postseason, which may be even tougher. What is the mindset of you and your team heading into this week?
I think we're excited about postseason play. I think, this time of year, as a college basketball player, doesn't get any better than right now and in the moment.
Rematch with Vandy, who got you here earlier this year. What was the difference in that one back in February?
Mark's team played really hard that day. I thought they did a great job. They were physical on the glass. They did a great job closing the game out. But I think the physicality, the offensive rebounding, and their timely shot making was the difference in the game.
Around this time of year, there's a lot of bubble talk. Do you guys try to stay away from the NCAA speculation and whatnot?
Well, I think the thing you try to focus on this time of year, whether you're in the tournament or not in the tournament, it's about staying the course, and it's about every possession and living in the moment where you are.
And finally, your keys for your team to get a victory here today and continue on here in Nashville.
We have to take care of the basketball. We have to be much more physical in this game than we were in the last ball game on the glass. And, we're going to have really good transition defense.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
Our thanks to both head coaches for their time. We're getting closer to tip time. Game 2 here on day 1 of the SEC tournament coming up in about 10 minutes. Doors and Longhorns. We're back to Bridgestone Arena with more of our Johnsonville pregame show after this time out on the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The best coverage. It's unstoppable. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up. But it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
Getting ready for Vanderbilt and Texas here. It'll be the second game of the day session. We've seen Arkansas already dispatch of South Carolina in game number 1. Quick check of the scores. A lot going on in college basketball right now. Halftime at the ACC tournament in Charlotte, North Carolina leads Notre Dame 43-29. Late first half at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, West Virginia on top of Colorado 27-21. And the Big 10 tournament underway in Indianapolis. Northwestern with an early 13-10 lead on Minnesota. About 13 minutes to play in the first half there. Finals from earlier today. Georgia Tech knocks off Virginia in the second round of the ACC tournament, 66-60. Jackets get top seed Duke. Tomorrow, Iowa State blows out Cincinnati at the Big 12 tournament second round action, 76 56. Again, Arkansas won the first game today, 72-68 over South Carolina. Doors and Horns coming up after this. We're back to Bridgestone Arena here on the SEC Radio Network.
Severance Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV+.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Our message got out. We're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
What did you see?
My Audi's wife is Miss Casey.
If you want to find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive.
I want to see my wife.
You should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
When it comes to action-packed highlights, there's nothing like the SEC. And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
This is classic. Back to Bridgestone Arena in 1 minute. This is the SEC Radio Network.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field. But today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
College softball season is in full swing, and we're just the ones to talk about it. Join me, former Florida Gators All-American Amanda Lorenz, and my co-host, Jenna Becerra, every week as we deliver the latest in college softball on the D1 Softball Podcast. We've got all the latest, whether it is in the circle or in the batter's box. We have interviews with coaches, players, and more. We'll go through the week's top 25 poll and give our insights, as well as our plays, wins, and whiffs of the week. Let us get you in the know on all things college softball. Listen on D1Softball.com and the Varsity Network app.
This is the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament. The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Knocked outside, and Vanderbilt wins. The students pour onto the court.
The Texas Longhorns.
Tremont drives in, off the glass, good! It's good, 3.7 to go.
These are the starting lineups. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the SEC.
Now let's meet the starting lineup for the teams. First for Texas, at guard, a 6', 2" junior from Oakley, California, number 0, Jordan Pope. At forward, a 6', 11" graduate from Holly Springs, North Carolina, number 5, Caden Shedrick. At forward, a 6', 7" senior from Glendale, Arizona, number 6, Arthur Kaluma. At guard, a 6', 5" graduate from Dickinson, Texas, number 12, Tremont Mark. At guard, a 6', 6" freshman from Garland, Texas, All SEC second team, All SEC freshman team, and SEC freshman of the year, number 20, Trey Johnson. And the head coach of the Longhorns is Rodney Terry. And now for the Vanderbilt Commodores. At guard, a 6', 1" junior from Atlanta, Georgia, All SEC third team, number 1, Jason Edwards. At guard, a 6', 7" junior from Harrisonburg, Virginia, number 5, Tyler Nickel. At guard, a 6', 4" graduate from Gatesville, Pennsylvania, number 11, AJ Hugard. At guard, a 6', 5" graduate from New Milford, New Jersey, number 30, Chris Magnon. At forward, a 6', 7" junior from Cumming, Georgia, number 99, Devin McLaughlin. And the head coach of the Commodores is Mark Byington.
Those are your Southwest Airlines starting lineups. These are the guys who will be calling the game, Andrew Monaco and Richard Williams. Guys, great to see you. Great to be here in Nashville. Two teams, one who's overachieved maybe in Vanderbilt, one who's sort of underachieved this year in Texas. What do you think?
Great matchup. Thanks for having us back. Good to be alongside you, Coach.
Thanks, Andrew. Good to be here.
Well, Trey Johnson, the freshman of the year in the SEC, he certainly made it known. And Mark Byington and this Vanderbilt team, Coach, when they knocked off number 6 Tennessee, that's when we all took notice. That wasn't their only ranked win. And I love matchups make fights, right? Interesting, the contrast between these two squads.
Well, I think you're going to see a team that's not as physical in Vanderbilt as you will Texas. Texas is big, they're strong, and they're physical, and they have a difference maker in Trey Johnson, the freshman year in the league. When Texas needs a basket, when they go 2 or 3 possessions without scoring, they have a guy they can get the ball to. He can go get his own shot.
He leads the SEC over 20 points per game, and his average is even higher in the 18 conference games. As for Vanderbilt, they've got Jason Edwards, all-SEC third team. He makes his team go, but he's not the only thing. They can go inside with Devin McLaughlin. And for Texas, they've got someone who has played here. This is the Longhorns' first SEC tournament, but Tremont Mark played here with Arkansas, so he knows this court as well. It is Vanderbilt here at home, if you will, in Nashville, but not here at Bridgestone Arena. They're in the white with the black letters and numbers trimmed in gold, and Texas comes out, Texas in script, in their burnt orange with the white letters and numbers. As Doug Schaus, Vladimir Voyard-Tadal, and Orlandis Poole are our officials. Earlier today, it was Arkansas holding off South Carolina. The Razorbacks advance, and the tip between McLaughlin and Shedrick goes to Texas. They'll shoot to the basket to our right in front of the Vanderbilt bench. It is the junior Jordan Pope, who's a transfer from Oregon State. Above foul line extended on the right side, it is Pope. Pope guarded by Edwards down the left lane line. On the wing to Tremont Mark. Backs out beyond the arc. Now he's between the circles with 12 on the shot clock. Kick into the right corner. That's where Kaluma lets it fly. Misses that, and the rebound to A.J. Hogarth, the point guard. Well, when you say that, Coach, everybody's listed as a point guard for Mark Byington. He talks about positionless basketball. Magnon down the left lane line.
Well, positionless basketball just means they try to drive it, penetrate, pitch to open shooters. They don't like to designate 5s and 4s because they play in a spread offense.
Hogarth on a drive on the right wing. Kick basketball. Shot clock resets to 20. We're 45 seconds in, looking for our first points. Right baseline inbound. Hogarth, Edwards, Magnon, McLaughlin, and Tyler Nickel. The inbound to Magnon. High on the right wing. Edwards. 7th in the SEC at 17 points per game. McLaughlin gives back to him. He's on the left side of the floor. Double team straight away. Magnon for 3. Off to the right. Knew it immediately, and it caroms out of bounds into the Texas bench. Longhorn basketball.
Yeah, when a guy shoots it, he normally knows where the ball is going before anybody else does. He saw that was off to the right immediately and chased it.
Jordan Pope will bring the ball into the front court for Texas. Looking for our first score. Arthur Kaluma and Tremont Mark with Jordan Pope, Caden Shedrick, and Trey Johnson. Shedrick to Johnson on the left wing. Attacks on that left wing, lays it up and in for our game's first 2.
Well, there he showed his athleticism. They showed he's going to look for his shot in this game. And Trey Johnson, we've already talked about how good he is, freshman of the year in the league.
Was without a field goal in the last game against Oklahoma. He was 0 for 14 in that game. Magnon stops right elbow. Nickel gives back to Magnon. A little 2-man game. Laid it up short. Rebound Kaluma. Dribbles into the front court. Now Pope. Edwards guards him. 2-0 Texas. 18-10 to play in our first half. Tremont Mark on the left wing. Jab step. Now fires a 3. Off the heel. And it's rebounded by Hogarth. He's got his second rebound.
Tremont Mark is better if he gets into the paint and shoots the mid-range jump shots.
Attack to left baseline. Magnon cut off by Kaluma. Spinning. Edwards. He got Pope in the air. Count it.
That's played through contact. He's a small guy. He's only listed about 6'1", but he absorbed the contact, still got the ball up on the rim. It fell in.
He had a 500-point scoring season, the first since Scottie Pippen Jr. did that for Vanderbilt. It was a Vanderbilt team that had 9 wins overall last year. 20 this season. They had 4 conference wins. They come in 8-10 in the conference.
Well, I think that's why you see Mark Byington got several votes for Coach of the Year in the league. He did an outstanding job his first year. But if you look at his record, everywhere he's been, he's won.
Everywhere. Whether it was James Madison or before that, Georgia Southern. 3-2 Vanderbilt as Edwards completes the three-point play. Half the shot clock gone, and Trey Johnson at the top of the arc, guarded by Magnon. Left-handed dribble, step back three, slot left, no good. Hogard has his third rebound. 3-2 Vanderbilt with the basketball, shooting to the basket to our left. Hogard threw the key from right to left. Now Magnon tacks all the way to the hoop. He is pushed by Johnson and will earn 2 free throws. It was a Vanderbilt team that had 4 top 15 victories. But, Coach, stop me if you heard that before, because in the SEC, that's all it seemed to be. It was either top 25, top 20, top 15, 10, just the way this conference has been.
As the season progressed, almost every conference game you played, you were playing a ranked opponent. So it helps your strength of schedule for sure.
It certainly does. Magnon makes the first. A career best 80% from the line this year. 3 years at Cornell before coming to Vanderbilt, and he makes 2 of 2. In the last 5 belong to Vanderbilt. The Commodores have a 5-2 lead on the Longhorns. 17-15 left in this first half. Texas basketball, foul line extended on the right side. Julian Larry off the bench for Texas. Another experienced point guard for Rodney Terry. Slot right, it's Kaluma. Kaluma going to work on Tyler Nickel. Down the right lane line, step back to his left, and it is stripped. Taken away by Jason Edwards. Hogard, front court. Hogard, kick into the left corner. Nickel lets it fly. No. Battle for the rebound, and Shedrick walks out. McLaughlin, 5-2, Texas basketball. Julian Larry down the left lane line. Stops, spins, scoops, fouled. Left side of the basket. He gets 2 free throws.
Well, you talked about Larry Julian being an experienced player. Played at Indiana State last year, along with the teammate here, Jason Kent. They both were at Indiana State. Indiana State had a really good basketball team. But the outstanding thing to me about Larry Julian, he has 97 assists, only 49 turnovers. Great ratio.
Outstanding ratio. And now 2 free throws for him. 83%. One of his few misses. And Rodney Terry trusts his 2 point guards, whether it's Jordan Pope or whether it's Julian Larry, and they are in control on that floor, Coach, are they not?
And not many teams have 2 point guards, and both their point guards are really good point guards. You go back and talk about Jordan Pope, 54 assists, 24 turnovers. They both take care of the basketball. They get the ball to the right people, and in particular, they get it to Trey Johnson when he needs to have it.
Yes, they do.
That's
5 to 20.
That's the important thing.
5-3. Right corner 3 is no good, and a good box out. Kaluma had it, lost it. Magnon through the lane, right to left, and taken away. And Tremont Mark pokes it away. Across from the official scorer's table to our TV tables. It'll stay Vanderbilt basketball. Possession change, so shot clock is at 26. Completely different team for Vanderbilt. I give Mark Byington a ton of credit, Coach, because they came together fairly quickly. We've seen some teams it takes a little while. It came together quickly for them.
They did, but it's easier now to come together quickly because you have them all summer long to practice with, as opposed to years past.
Was that a little bit different for you?
Just a little bit of difference.
Magnon at the top of the key. Right baseline, Jalen Carey. Fantastic off the bench for the Commodores. What defense being played by Onyema. Left-handed layup is no good, and Kaluma comes down with his second rebound. Terrific post defense by Zarek Onyema. Julian Larry. Hogard stays with Johnson, goes to the right side of the lane to Tremont Mark. Mark going to work on Edwards. In the lane, looping pass, left corner. Kaluma lets it fly. No good. And another guard rebound. Magnon pushed the pace. Down the right lane line. Scoops. In and out, no good. He's going to earn another free throw. Or, 2 free throws. He'll be at the line when we return. 5-3, Vanderbilt leads Texas. 15:41 to play in the first, and this is the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a farm-rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning.
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from. Thank you for spending your time with us here and cheering on whatever team it is that you're rooting for in the SEC tournament. Please do us a favor and let's get some more basketball fans here in the chat to help us raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto and have a really good time partying it up during March Madness. Hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Every single share is so massive. Please share it out as it helps YouTube recognize that more people are enjoying what they're watching. Now let's get back to the basketball. Good luck to your team.
Doors. Have fun out there. Gatorade, the official sports drink of the SEC. Gatorade, it fuels the best because it is the best. By Regions, official bank of the SEC. And by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
It's a 5-3 start for Vanderbilt. 1 for 6 are the Commodores from the floor. 0 for 3 beyond the arc. They are 3 of 3 from the line, while Texas is 1 of 5 from the floor. They've missed all 4 of their three-point shots and just 1 of 2 from the line in the early going. 15:41 to play here in the first half. He is Richard Williams. I'm Andrew Monaco. Stephen Hartzell with us. Boy, we didn't do this before. Now with 16 teams, we play on Wednesday afternoon. Remember, it would just be the night session and all 16 teams are invited to here at the tournament. So 4 games on Wednesday, 4 games on Thursday, and do we advance?
I don't remember a lot about it years ago because my teams usually will first day play and get beat and go home. So we weren't here very long most of the time.
Not so sure you can say that about Mississippi State this year, Coach. Chris Jan's team has been in the top 25 an awful lot. And again, one of those styles, to me, when you play Mississippi State, you better be readied for physical basketball. And I don't mean that doesn't mean they don't have the skill. I think Josh Hubbard is an outstanding point guard. Cameron Matthews is unlike anybody else in this conference to be that big and that agile, but also play with that strength. He's a fun player. And I know I'm leaving out people as well, but that is a good basketball team as Magnon hits the free throw. He's 3 of 3 from the line in this early going. A 6-3 Vanderbilt lead. Chance to add to that, and he does. He's got 4 of Vanderbilt's 7-3 lead for the Commodores as Tremont Mark into the front court. He picked up by a true freshman in Tyler Tanner. Hook pass, Kaluma, slot right beyond the arc. Goes to work on McLaughlin. Gets to the right block. Left it short. Battle for the rebound. Kaluma has it. Goes back up. And is able to get that to go.
Well, that's what he does. A transfer from Kansas State, he averages almost 8 rebounds a game. So if it goes on the glass, the game starts for him when it goes up on the glass.
7th in the SEC with those 8 rebounds a game is Kaluma. Carey gives to Magnon above foul line extended at the free throw line. Now at the left elbow. Backs out beyond the arc and picks up the dribble. 10 on the shot clock as he goes to McLaughlin between the circles. Tyler Tanner to Magnon on the left wing. Pass intended for Carey. Catches it underneath the basket, but he is on the end line, and that's a turnover. 7-5 Vanderbilt, but it's Texas basketball. 14:57 to play here in the first. MJ Collins Jr. comes in for Magnon. Edwards and Collins, along with Carey, McLaughlin. And it is Tanner who picks up Tremont Mark in the backcourt. Kendall Weaver on the floor for Texas. Drive to the basket, just what you said. Tremont Mark, when he drives, is dangerous. He ties this game at 7.
And he can pull up and make the short jump shot there. Now, a lot of coaches don't like that short mid-range shot anymore. In the analytics sense, not a good shot. But for Tremont Mark, it's an excellent shot.
Yes, it is. Tied at 7, the last 4 by Texas at the free throw line. Collins stopped, cut off by Kaluma. 10 on the shot clock. Tanner on the left wing. That's a 3 fly. And that is way off the mark. Saved by Carey. Kendall Weaver comes away with a bounce up ahead for Kaluma all the way to the hoop. And the jam. He's got the last 4. And Texas has a 9-7 lead.
Live ball turnovers lead to dunks most of the time.
Tanner, top of the arc. On the right wing, Collins. Back to Tanner, now McLaughlin. Edwards on the left wing. Attacks, tries to split 2 defenders. And as he does, almost like a reverse elevator screen, they collapse on him and the foul. And they're going to give Edwards 2 free throws.
Well, you know the scouting report for Texas is first guy on that scouting report is Jason Edwards. And you saw the quickness he has that time. He just beat a defender to the baseline and tried to split 2 defenders, drew the foul.
2 free throws for him. 10th in the SEC at 84%. The 9-7 Texas lead on Vanderbilt. That's already the 5th team foul on the Longhorns with 13:51 to play in our first half. Edwards in and out, no good. So he goes to the line. Looks like he's going to shoot. It's actually like a practice golf swing. He pretends with the shot. He has gotten a number of lane violations. So he'll dribble, practice. They bang on each side. He missed both. And the rebound, Kendall Weaver. That is rare at 84%. And he has missed both. Shedrick back in for Texas. 9-7 is the Longhorn lead. On a curl, Mark. Tremont Mark at the left elbow. Straight away, Kaluma. He has the last 4 for the Longhorns. 9-7 Texas. 13.5 to play. 10 on the shot clock. Tremont Mark underneath the basket. Reverse layup is good. He's got 4. And that's the Longhorn lead, 11-7. Tanner in the wake of Carey. Slides to the left side. Up top, Jalen Carey. Carey spins on Shedrick down the right lane line. Cut off. Puts up a shot. May have been blocked. Rebound by Kendall Weaver. Whether it's been a steal or a rebound, Weaver's been important off the bench. Shedrick left-handed hook is good. His first 2. Texas up 6, 13-7. So after the 1-for-5 start, they're 4 for their last 6. Vanderbilt continues just 1 for 8 from the floor. Edwards to the top of the arc. Edwards, skip pass. Collins on the left side of the floor. Collins, little step through, blocks. Shedrick got that block, and Shedrick's 55th of the season to Trey Johnson. Johnson goes right wing Shedrick. Johnson going over that screen is Collins. Now Tremont Mark to the right of the center jump circle, and a reach-in foul by Tyler Tanner.
Well, I think Texas, the size and the athleticism, the strength of Texas players are starting to show a little bit, Andrew. They're getting the ball into the paint with relative ease right now, and then able to score. They get the ball so close to the basket. Vanderbilt's not able to do anything about it.
And Rodney Terry said off the top, we've got to be physical in this game. 10-0 run for the Longhorns as Julian Larry is in, along with Jason Kent. And as Coach mentioned, they played together 2 seasons at Indiana State. Pass to the right baseline is too low and too far away from Shedrick. That's a turnover for Texas. 13-7, the last 10 by the Longhorns.
You know, so far Vandy's done a good job on Trey Johnson. They have MJ Collins in there guarding him right now. And he's not face guarding him. He's not trying to deny the ball every time, but he keeps an eye on him, doesn't let him cut anywhere without him being close to him.
Hogarth on the right wing gets a return feed from Collins with McLaughlin, Tanner, and Nickel rounding out the 5 on the floor for the Commodores. Down 6, 13-7 with 11:55 to play. Down the left lane line, Hogarth stops, spins, kick out, Nickel for 3. In and out, no good, and the rebound, Jason Kent. Now Trey Johnson into the front court. At the top of the arc, zipper pass. Driving to the basket and a dunk by Shedrick. He's got 4. It's a 12-0 Texas run. 15-7 Longhorns.
Well, that was just poor defensive transition by Vanderbilt that time, Andrew.
Sometimes those long rebounds can be like live ball turnovers. Inside, McLaughlin stops the 12-0 run. His first 2. Devin McLaughlin averaging 11 a game. It's a 15-9. Texas lead with the basketball. Kent, top of the arc. Feed, left side lane, Shedrick. That is knocked free and stolen. Tanner, front court, right side. In the right corner, Collins lets it fly. The three is no good, and Shedrick with a rebound. Trey Johnson, front court. Trey Johnson, three straight away. That skids off to the right, and Nickel with the rebound. Front court, Hogard. Running the 4-10 or underneath the basket, gives back to Hogard straight away for three. A sideways spin, no good, and Kent the rebound. Julian Larry into the front court on the right side. Above the arc, picked up by Collins. Curls around a Johnson screen on the right wing. Foul line extended right side, Trey Johnson. Johnson to the right baseline. 10-footer, in and out, no good. Offensive rebound, Kent put back, and he is fouled. 10:23 to play in our first half. Texas has a 15-9 lead on Vanderbilt. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Mercedes-Benz asks you this. What do elite athletes and luxury vehicles have in common? A winning drive for starters. Both are versatile, intelligent, and constantly innovating. Both navigate speed bumps and leave fans with goosebumps. And of course, only the best become stars. Mercedes-Benz, available in electric, gas, or plug-in hybrid. Discover uncompromising luxury at your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Learn more at MBUSA.com. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC.
Lobs it up in a right-hand jam. Have mercy. You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the old basketball hoop in your driveway, and I'm rustier than your game. I mean, seriously, I should have been replaced back in ¡99. So when you go up for a dunk, I slam down onto your car. And if you don't have the right auto insurance, you might have to jump through a few hoops to pay for this. So get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem, like me.
Savings vary based on coverage selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
$15-9 is the Texas lead on Vanderbilt with 10:23 to play. And Texas will be at the line. Vanderbilt just 15% from the floor in this first half. 2 of 13, while Texas counters at 7 of 14. And Texas has scored 12 of the last 14 points in this game. That 12-2 run gives them this 15-9 lead.
Well, I think the shooting percentages show you where the shots are being taken. Texas is getting the ball in the paint. Vanderbilt struggling to get the ball inside against the Texas defenders, and they're having to shoot long perimeter shots. They're 0 of 7 from the three-point line.
14-4 are the paint points in advantage, Texas, and they have been able to run, and they have been able to dunk with those easy two.
You know, if you look at Texas coming into the tournament, they finished 5-11 in the league, ended up, or 6-12 in the league.
Yeah.
And you look at the talent they have, though, and you wonder 6-12. You look at the talent they have. I mean, they are a really talented basketball team. Yeah. Big, athletic. They have 2 excellent point guards. They have experience coming back from major schools. They transfer guys, and then you got the best freshman in conference.
Yeah. So. This is how they started. You ready? Number 12, A&M. Number 2, Auburn. Number 1, Tennessee. Rivalry, Oklahoma. Right? Number 4, Florida. Number 22, Missouri. A&M again. Number 23, Ole Miss. And then I don't even care if teams are unranked, Coach. I don't think that mattered in the SEC.
Well, they didn't have an easy schedule to start with, for sure. And their first year in the SEC, they come out with that opening schedule. They have to start thinking, is it always going to be this way in this league? It wasn't like this in the Big 12.
No, it was not. Here's Jason Kent. First of 2 free throws after Hogard committed his second personal foul, and Kent misses the first. He is just 49% in the conference, is Kent. 56% overall. 44 games lost to injury, 6, and I think key players. Kent was one of them. He misses both, and McLaughlin the rebound. Kent missed 8. Kendall Weaver missed 15. He was a spark off the bench here in this first half. Kaluma missed a couple. Trey Johnson missed a couple. Tremont Mark missed half a dozen. And Devon Pryor, a young player they really like, missed 8 games for Texas at points this season. This is Tanner at the top of the arc, and he just lost it. Kicked up ahead, loose, picked up by Pope. Jordan Pope at the top of the arc, lets it fly. No, skids off to the right, and Tanner collects that loose ball. He, Nickel, McLaughlin, along with Hogard, who's playing with 2 personal fouls in Magnon. 15-9 is the Texas lead on Vanderbilt. Pitch and catch with Hogard. He's above foul line extended, now inside the arc at the right elbow. Into the paint, stops, will pop a shot from 6 is no good. Rebounded by number 6, Arthur Kaluma. Kaluma with his 3rd board. Tremont Mark at the top of the arc. Tremont Mark down the left lane line. Cut off, spins inside the left elbow. Now Kaluma fakes the handoff as he rolls to the left side along the perimeter. In the left corner is Tremont Mark. Mark to the left slot. Beyond the arc, left elbow, going to work on Hogard. He's got 2 personal fouls. Rises from the free throw line, no good. Dances off the rim a second time. It's an offensive rebound by Jason Kent. The putback is good. Second chance points for Kent. 17-9 Texas. 9 to play here in the first half. Hogard in the wake of McLaughlin. Straight away, Devin. Magnon, foul line extended beyond the arc in front of Rodney Terry, Texas head coach. 8-point Texas lead. Right wing, Magnon. Dribbles to the right elbow. 10 to shoot. Magnon, run off the line. Attacks Kaluma with the left hand. Hits. Magnon's first field goal to go with 4 free throws. He's got 6. That's the Texas lead at 17-11.
And Vandy was finally able to get the ball into the paint, get a short shot, and Magnon was able to make it.
Tremont Mark, guarded by Hogard. And now McLaughlin stops left elbow. Crossover, down the left lane line, fouled. He got the foul on McLaughlin. He will earn a couple of free throws.
You really don't want Tremont Mark to go to his left. He's a left-handed player. He really prefers going to the left-hand side. So you have to get over on the left shoulder, try to make him go with his right hand. He's not nearly as effective.
Started his career at the University of Houston, then at Arkansas, and back in the state of Texas. He's from Dickinson High School, which is just south of Houston. First free throw. Nestles home. He's got 5 here in the first half. 18-11. Texas, a 7-point lead. Hogard leads. So does McLaughlin. Carey comes back in. Edwards back in. Mark gets another free throw. Dances off the front. He makes the first of 2. Quickly up the floor and a goaltend by Shedrick on the attack by Edwards. Count that buckets. 18-13. Texas by 5. 8:14 to play. We're in the first half. Mark along with Kent in the backcourt. Pope, Shedrick, Trey Johnson round out the 5 on the floor for the Longhorns. Straight away Shedrick. Above foul line extended on a curl. Pope shy of the free throw line. He is fouled, count it, and 1 for Jordan Pope on the curl and a chance at a 3-point play.
Well, that was nice action by Texas that time. As you said, he came off the screen, or the wide down screen, curled it. His defender was trailing him, so he curled it right into the free throw line area.
So both teams now with 5 team fouls with 8:01 to play in the first half. 20-13. Jordan Pope and the Longhorns have the lead, make it 21-13 as Pope completes the 3-point play. These 2 teams have played in February at Vanderbilt, and the Commodores won that one 86-78. On the right wing, Tanner. This is not their first meeting in the SEC, though. Attack down the right lane line. In 1954, Vanderbilt was a special invitee to the Southwest Conference Tournament. And as a guest, they beat Texas that year. It is 21-13. Texas leads Vanderbilt with 7:48 to play in our first half here in Nashville, Bridgestone Arena. This is the SEC Radio Network.
When it comes to action-packed highlights, there's nothing like the SEC. And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these two lovebirds get one more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with Meemaw.
Well, this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Farm Rich, the official frozen snack of the SEC. Grab a snack. Pfizer, the official pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine awareness sponsor of the SEC. And by Sprouts Farmers Market, official healthy grocer of the SEC.
2 ties, 2 lead changes, and since Texas took the lead, they've expanded that lead to 8. The Longhorns 21 and the Commodores 13 with 7:48 to play in the first half. I'm big, Coach, on teams playing to their identity. I think that's been a key throughout the SEC and obviously throughout college basketball. And to me, Texas has played to its identity so far in this first half. Part of Vanderbilt's identity is they're a really good shooting team, so when they're cold, either they have to get the second chance opportunities or attack or get to the free throw line, but so far it seems like the Longhorns have been able to play their style.
Well, that style is physical around the goal. That's what they want to do. Get it to the rim, get it up on the glass, and then attack the glass. And they've done that. They've outscored Vandy so far 16-8 in the paint. Vandy is shooting 25%, Andrew. They're 0 of 7 3-point line, but Texas hasn't made a three-pointer either.
No.
Yeah, we're going to get one before the game's over. Somebody's going to make one before the game's over. But so far, Texas hasn't needed a three-pointer.
15-9 advantage in rebounding for Texas. It's a +6 there and a +2 in offensive rebounds, a 3-1 advantage. And the corollary to that, 4 second chance points to 0 for Vanderbilt. 21-13 is the Texas lead on the Commodores. 12 versus 13. Vanderbilt, the 12 seed. Texas, the 13 seed. Vanderbilt, 20-11, 8-10 in SEC play. Texas comes in at 17-14 and 6-12 in the conference. It's a right baseline inbound for Vanderbilt. Down 21-13, Tyler Tanner. Nickel. That's a 2-point shot for Nickel, high off the glass in the short corner on the right baseline, his first point. I say that his last 5 games, he's had multiple 3-point makes in those games. He's shooting 58% beyond the arc. He started 0 for 2 this afternoon. 21-15, feeds Shedrick on the right block, goes to work on Carey to his left. Spins back to his right, now back to the left with the hook, bounces off, tipped up and around, pinballs out of bounds. Vanderbilt basketball. But Carey wasn't going to give him anything, and Shedrick was going to bring out all the bag of tricks.
He made several fakes off the left shoulder, but he wants to go over the right shoulder. That's what he finally did. Got it up there and actually almost tipped it in.
Down the left lane line, Edwards stops. Off the heel, no good. Rebound by Devon Pryor. Front court, Tremont Mark. Leaves for Trey Johnson. To a couple defenders. Kent on the right wing beyond the arc. Can't hand off because Magnon is guarding Trey Johnson. So it goes to the right baseline to Tremont Mark. Magnon. Now a double team as Carey comes over and fouls Tremont Mark, dribbling higher on that right wing.
It looked like he was trying to hedge the ball screen there, trying to hard hedge it. Came out a little too aggressive on Tremont Mark.
So McLaughlin will come on. That's the second on Jalen Carey. Sixth team foul on Vanderbilt. 6 team fouls apiece. 21-15, Texas by 6. 6:50 to play in our first half. Tremont Mark guarded by Tanner. Shedrick gives. Trey Johnson has that shot blocked from behind. It'll stay Texas basketball with 11 to shoot. 6:43 to play in this first half. 21-15. Longhorns by 6. Left baseline inbound below the left lane line. Tremont Mark. Shedrick, Weaver, Kent, and Johnson. Trey Johnson's in the left corner. Dribbles to the wing, now the left elbow. Continues through the lane, and he is fouled by Magnon. Doug Schowes with the call. Magnon with the foul. Over the limit is Vanderbilt, but Trey Johnson was in the act of shooting.
Well, Vandy's actually done a pretty good job on Trey Johnson. I think he only had 4 field goal attempts before that. But they're really finding him, not letting him get really open shots. But that time he used his dribbling ability. He got close to the rim through the foul.
He is third in the SEC at 88% and swishes that first free throw. Even better in conference. And that says a lot to me. When your numbers rise through these 18 games in conference, that's impressive.
If you watch him in warm-ups, and we played Texas, I watched him in the warm-ups, and Eddie Orrin, who does the radio for Texas, a close friend of mine for years and years and years, he said, watch this guy shoot in warm-ups. He never misses. And so I started watching. He's right. He almost never misses a shot.
If you take the 20 off his back and put a 35, he looks a little like Kevin Durant. And I don't mean to put that kind of pressure, but when he rises the same as Kevin Durant. He makes both. 23-15, 8-point Texas lead with 6:20 to play in this first half. Hogarth rises, right elbow, left that short, and the rebound, Kendall Weaver in front of the Texas bench. Kendall Weaver has come off the bench, and I know that Weaver has not scored, but he's got 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and he has forced a turnover, and Tremont Mark. Pass was intended for Weaver, but he threw it where he was, not where he was going, and throws that into the Vanderbilt bench.
Well, Tremont should have taken one more dribble because he was getting close to where he likes it, that mid-range jump shot.
Make it 4 rebounds for Kendall Weaver. He's the brother of WNBA star Kennedy Carter. Down the right lane line, Hogarth all the way to the hoop, around and in. Hogarth's first 2. 23-17. Vanderbilt pulls within 6. Mark using a Kent screen. Hogarth goes over. Mark at the left elbow. Kaluma top of the arc. Spins to his right. A little step through with the left hand off the window. Kaluma has a half dozen. 25-17. 8-point Texas lead. 5.5 to play here in the first. Foul line extended right side, Edwards. Crossover dribble, spins to his right. Trying to shed Trey Johnson. Right baseline jumper from 5. No good. Jason Kent with a rebound. Vanderbilt is 6 of 21 in this first half. Texas is 10 of 22. A combined 0 for 13 beyond the arc. Mark, guarded by Nickel. Crossover all the way to the hoop. Reach-in foul. And we'll get 2 free throws. The reach-in foul by Tyler Nickel.
You know, Tremont Mark has an ability to look like he's under control. He's not going really, really quickly to the rim. He made a little inside-out dribble that time, and when he decided to go to the goal, he exploded. He showed some athleticism. He kind of lulls you to sleep until he decides to make his move.
Until he's past you, right?
And then he goes.
Yes, he does.
And he goes to the left.
Yes. First is good by Mark. 26-17 Texas. Mark gets the second of 2 free throws after the 8th team foul by Vanderbilt. 2 of 2 from the line, 7 in this first half. And it's a 27-17 Texas lead. Up by 10. Longhorns largest here in the first half, which has 4:55 to play. Straight away McLaughlin for 3. No good. Nothing but burnt orange-clad Longhorns on the rebound. Jump pass from Mark in the front court. 27-17 Texas. 4:35 to play. Using a Kent screen. Mark. Slot left beyond the arc. Goes to work on Hogarth. Down the left lane line. Stolen by Magnon. He's got McLaughlin with him. Weaver coming back. Devin McLaughlin to the hoop, and that is pinned by Weaver. Goaltend.
When you get in the lane and you start reverse dribbling when you're in the lane, that's a good time to turn it over because the weak side defender on that reverse, he's going to come and get it. And that's what happened that time. Live ball turnover. Vandy got it down the floor in a hurry.
27-19. Jaquelin Roberts has come on off the Vanderbilt bench. Nickel and Hogard leave. Tanner back in. Tanner and Edwards. Roberts, McLaughlin, and Magnon. Hope brings the ball into the front court with Kaluma and Johnson. Kent and Weaver. Left elbow, Kaluma. Jab step. Now lets it fly from 17. Short. Rebound, McLaughlin. His second. 27-19. Vanderbilt with the basketball, down by 8 with 4 minutes to play in the first half. Edwards crossover, not free by Trey Johnson. Kendall Weaver the other way. It's a race to the hoop. That is blocked by Roberts. Blocked again by Magnon. Magnon with a foul on that follow. You're going to earn everything around the hoop, aren't you, Coach?
Well, that looked like it was going to be an easy basket. Then the shot got blocked on the glass, and then the rebound, and it gets blocked again. But it was physical around the ball's up in the air, and everybody's going after it.
Magnon's second personal foul. 27-19. Texas leads Vanderbilt with 3:51 to play in our first half. This is the SEC Radio Network.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Number 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments,
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. The one that's watching the SEC tournament with us and hanging out here on Toronto Sports Insider as we raise money for SickKids Hospital. Wait, where I am? There I am. All right. Finally. Anyways, you get the point. Thanks for hanging out with us and listening to the game. And now that I've got your attention, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss it for every single game of the SEC tournament live, as well as every game of March Madness live. Thanks for hitting that button, the subscribe button with the bell. Yeah, you got it. Thank you so much, and welcome to our awesome community. We'll see you back in the chat.
Up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
Severance Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV+.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Our message got out. We're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
What did you see? My Audi's wife was Miss Casey.
If you wouldn't find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive.
I want to see my wife.
He should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
3:51 to play in our first half. This 2025 SEC Men's Basketball Tournament. Game number 2 on this afternoon. Arkansas outlasted South Carolina. Arkansas will play Ole Miss. That will be the first game tomorrow. The winner of Texas and Vanderbilt gets the 5th seed, Texas A&M, tomorrow, following Arkansas and Ole Miss. Alongside Richard Williams, I'm Andrew Monaco, Stephen Hartzell. Courtside. 27-19, Texas leads Vanderbilt. 3:51 to play in our first half. And really, Vanderbilt the early start, and once Texas responded and took the lead, they've kept it right around this margin, have they not? Around 8 or 10 points here in the first half.
Yeah, they have, and it's an 8-point game, but if you look at the stats, you'd think it would be worse than that, because Vandy's 30% from the floor. They're 0 of 8 from the three-point line. Texas, 42%. They haven't made a three-pointer, but Vandy's not turning the ball over. That allows them to stay closer, not giving Texas extra possessions, because Vandy has only turned it over 3 times in the first half.
Well, Texas is doubling up Vanderbilt in rebounds, 22-11. I only say that because team I'm around, Buzz Williams, that's pretty important.
You know,
team you're around with Chris Jans, it's important as well.
It's important, but you know, if you talk to Chris Jans, he doesn't get into total rebounds. He gets into percentages.
Defensive
of
rebound,
offensive rebounds, defensive rebound percentage. Those are his big stats.
I think that is a great stat, by the way. Rebound percentage. Here's Kaluma. Arthur Kaluma, 6 points. First trip to the line. In and out, no good. Texas has left 5 points on the line, 7 of 12. here in the first half. Kaluma started his collegiate career at Creighton, a year at K-State, where he averaged 14.5 points and 5.5 rebounds for the Wildcats. And here at Texas, nearly 13 points, nearly 8 rebounds, 8 double-doubles for him this season, including 5 in SEC play. He had 12 and 7 in that loss at Vanderbilt in February. Second of 2 is good. He's got 7. 28-19, Texas by 9, 3:45 to play. Tyler Tanner into the front court through the etched SEC logo at half court. McLaughlin on the left baseline goes to work on Kaluma. Into the paint with the right-handed hook. Left it short, and last touched by Texas. Vanderbilt will keep it with 15 to shoot. .337 to play first half. Right baseline inbound to the right of the right lane line. Tyler Tanner, the true freshman. To J.Q. Roberts on the right baseline. 10 on the shot clock. High on the right wing, it's Edwards. Edwards with 5 in this first half. Edwards right elbow. Can't get Weaver to leave his feet. Collins with 5 on the shot clock. Crossover, 2 to shoot, 1 to shoot. Out of bounds. It's a turnover. And Trey Johnson playing defense. He and Kendall Weaver up top.
Well, that was a great defensive possession by the Texas Longhorns. Just didn't give Vandy anything.
Tremont Mark and Trey Johnson. Kaluma, Shedrick, and Weaver for Texas. 3:15 to play first half. 28-19 Longhorns. Johnson straight away. MJ Collins guards him. Cut off left elbow to Weaver. Weaver curls into the paint. Kick out. Johnson to his left. Deep 3. Swish. Trey Johnson's first 3. It's the first 3 in this game for either side.
We knew
someone was going to hit it. 31-19. Texas by 12. Straight away, Roberts on the left wing. Edwards guarded by Weaver. They have missed Weaver, has Texas in the paint, and a held ball. Weaver with that defense. Possession arrow. Vanderbilt. Weaver played against Oklahoma on Saturday. He had missed. He played the first game against Texas A&M in conference, played in Auburn, injured his groin against Auburn, did not come back until that Oklahoma game on Saturday. And a 30-second timeout called by Vanderbilt. They're down 31-19 with 2:41 to play in this first half. 7 of 25 in this first half. They have missed all 8 3-point shots. And they went to the free throw line early. It's been a while since then. 5 of 7 from the line. Well, Texas is 11 of 25 from the floor. Trey Johnson hits that 3, 1 for 7 beyond the arc, and 8 of 13 from the free throw line. For the most part, these teams have handled the basketball well. 5 turnovers for Texas, 4 for Vanderbilt.
You know, Vandy's, for the season, has not been a great three-point shooting team. You think of Vanderbilt always as being able to really shoot the basketball. They haven't been a great three-point, 33% for the year from the three-point line, which is just okay. So, you know, it's not a typical Vanderbilt basketball team in terms of several shooters on the floor.
They average about 8.5 made threes per game. And again, an 0 for 8 start. Right baseline inbound to McLaughlin, cut off by Kaluma. To his right, back to his left. He can't get Kaluma to leave. It's short, and Kaluma with the rebound and the foul on the rebound. It's a 1-and-1. Kaluma's defense was outstanding around the rim.
Well, if you look at Kaluma, you just look at him and his body, it's like he loves, the more physical the game, the better he likes it.
That is the 10th team foul on Vanderbilt. Not a 1-and-1, but 2 free throws for Kaluma. So he will shoot 2 after making 1 of 2 earlier in the half. 7 points, 5 rebounds in this first half for Kaluma. They get 8 and 5 as he makes the first. He is part of the Ugandan national team, is Kaluma. Talk about how global this game is going. He's a perfect example of that. Second of 2 is good, and Texas stretches its lead to 33-19. 9 for Kaluma. Very balanced scoring for the Longhorns. He's got 9. Mark with 7. Trey Johnson 7. Deep 3 right side. Tyler Nickel is 42% beyond the arc, 58% in the last 5 games from 3. 33-22, the Commodores' first 3-point basket. Trey Johnson on the left side, Kaluma beyond the arc, all the way to the paint. Oh, with the hammer! Arthur Kaluma in double figures with 11. The sea parted.
Where was the help defense?
It was non-existent. 35-22, Hogarth underneath the basket. He has that blocked by Tremont Mark. Off Shedrick, back to Tremont Mark. Down the left lane line, Mark with the left hand, lay it up and in. The block and the lay-in. He's got 9. Texas by 15, 37-22. Top of the arc, Hogarth on the right side, Tanner with the left hand into the paint, left corner, Nickel, and he stepped out of bounds. With that new arc, right, when they move the distance away, with that break in the arc and guys catch it and they drop that right foot to make a move, Nickel stepped out of bounds.
And how many times have you seen that this year? We've seen it over and over and over.
For a while there, Coach, it's seemingly every game.
Every game.
Right?
Yep.
Racing into the front court is Trey Johnson, side by side with MJ Collins. Texas in the double bonus. Next foul for the Longhorns puts Vanderbilt in the 1-and-1. Texas up 37-22. Hop step, Shedrick on the drive. He is fouled. He will get 2 free throws.
Not knowing the Vandy coaches, and their philosophy and their scouting reports, it's pretty obvious they think MJ Collins is either their best defender or one of them, because he's been guarding Trey Johnson the entire first half.
Shedrick will shoot 2. 3 years at Virginia. His second season with Texas. Free throw good. 64% free throw shooter. A notch higher than that in conference play from the line. 38-22. Shedrick can stretch that lead even larger. 17-point advantage. 39-22 Texas. Tyler Tanner will bring the ball into the front court. Crossover inside the arc, down the right lane line, all the way to the hoop, and he lays it up and in. Tanner's first 2. 39-24. Texas A&M.
You described it, though. The crossover dribble freed him up.
Longhorns by 15 with 45 seconds left in this first half. Johnson top of the arc, lost it, recovers high on the left wing. Deep 3 left side. That's no good. McLaughlin in the rebound. 35 seconds left. Tanner into the front court. Tanner in the wake of McLaughlin straight away. Down the right lane line. Fouled by Mark. And it's a 1-and-1 for Tyler Tanner.
Texas foul number 12. Come on, Mark. His first personal team foul. For 24, Jaquila Roberts to the game for Vanderbilt. And for Ryan, the 1-and-1, Tyler Tanner.
Tyler Tanner, 75% from the line, just 64 in conference. Makes the first and earns the second. 3 points for him, the last 3 for the Commodores, 39-25. Texas has the lead. Jordan Pope will come back in. And this interesting, this stretch has been more Tremont Mark and Kendall Weaver playing without Pope and Larry. A lot of experience on this Texas lineup.
Yeah, you start looking at the lineup and the transfers they have from major colleges. A lot of experienced players.
4 for Tanner as he makes the second free throw as well. 31.5 left. So a second and a half difference. Game clock, shot clock here at the end of the first half. Texas has the 39-26 lead on Vanderbilt. 20 seconds left. Pope from the center jump circle. Now he's high on the right wing, 30 feet from the basket. 15 left in the half. Trey Johnson just in front of that center jump circle. Collins on him. Sheds him down the right lane line. Stops, spins, tries to step through, hits. He's got 9 in this first half. 41-26. Final second from half court. Off to the left by Edwards. 41-26, Texas by 15. Once they got the lead, they kept stretching it. Your thoughts on this first half?
Well, I think Texas' size and physicality around the rim is what we talked about earlier. Vanderbilt's not a big physical basketball team, and Texas is taking advantage of that. They just control the boards. And then Johnson, you said that was his 9th point.
Yeah.
But Tremont Mark has been so good in the first half, getting into the paint. But it's just a typical Texas basketball team. They have their size, they have their athleticism, and right now they're dominating Vanderbilt.
Trey Johnson, 9. Tremont Mark, 9. Arthur Kaluma leads all scorers with 11. Texas 41-26 over Vanderbilt. Halftime next. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the valet at the game, and I'm as tight on cash as this lot is on space. So I'm going to park your way too big truck in this way too small spot. And if you don't have the right...
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from. Thank you for spending your time with us here and cheering on whatever team it is that you're rooting for in the SEC tournament. Please do us a favor and let's get some more basketball fans here in the chat to help us raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto and have a really good time partying it up during March Madness. Hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Every single share is so massive. Please share it out as it helps YouTube recognize that more people are enjoying what they're watching. Now let's get back to the basketball. Good luck to your team. What's up, basketball fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us this afternoon for the SEC tournament. The first matchup of the day is underway, and we are so glad you're here hanging out with us. Now, please, it's the time of the show for you to let us know where in the world you're watching from. You see the link that's pinned in the chat? You see the link that's getting spammed out in the chat right now? Click that, and that's going to take you to our website to show you where everyone in the world is watching from. We'll see you back in the chat. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for checking out the new website as well, and good luck to your team.
Bean Company.
With 20 minutes in the books, it's halftime on the SEC Radio Network. Brought to you by Farm Rich, the official frozen snack of the SEC. Grab a snack. Stats, analysis, and scores are all coming up. Now back to Nashville.
Halftime inside Bridgestone Arena, where the 13th seed Texas Longhorns lead 12th seeded Vanderbilt big, 41-26 at halftime. Winner advances to get the 5 seed Texas A&M in the second round here on Thursday. Stephen Hartzell welcoming you inside the Johnsonville pregame show. Coming up, we'll check the bracket, get you caught up on scores across the country and more. First, though, listen back to some highlights from the opening 20 minutes. Doors got out of the gates first, playing in their backyard here in Nashville.
Tremont Mark on the left wing, jab step, now fires a 3 off the heel, and it's rebounded by Hogard. He's got his second rebound.
Tremont Mark is better if he gets into the paint and shoots the mid-range jump shots.
Attack to left baseline, Magnon, cut off by Kaluma. Spinning, Edwards, he got Pope in the air, count it.
Jason Edwards, as you heard there with the and one. The lid was off for Vanderbilt, but just as soon as the lid came off, it went right back on. Doors would open the game, one of their first 10 from the floor, and you already heard the one. Texas would take advantage of the scoring drought and silence this pro-Vanderbilt crowd inside Bridgestone Arena.
Saved by Carey. Kendall Weaver comes away with a bounce up ahead for Kaluma all the way to the hoop, and the jam. He's got the last 4. Texas has a 9-7 lead. Now Trey Johnson into the front court. At the top of the arc. Zipper pass. Driving to the basket and a dunk by Shedrick. He's got 4. It's a 12-0 Texas run. 15-7 Longhorns.
Arthur Kaluma, Caden Shedrick with some of the highest percentage looks you can get dunking on Vanderbilt. Part of a 12-0 run that put Texas up at the time by as many as 8, 15-7 Longhorns going to the under 12 timeout. Doors would eventually start to settle down offensively, but as a team, they were struggling from the floor. And as you heard, Texas was getting great looks in the paint. If it wasn't run-out dunks in transition, it was Jordan Pope getting the old-fashioned three-point play to go down for the Longhorns.
Mark along with Kent in the backcourt. Pope, Shedrick, Trey Johnson round out the 5 on the floor for the Longhorns. Straight away, Shedrick. Above foul line, extended on a curl. Pope shy of the free throw line. He is fouled, count it, and one for Jordan Pope on the curl and a chance at a three-point play.
Jordan Pope with the hoop and the harm. Texas's lead would continue to grow. Now at 10, up 27-17. Doors started ice cold and never really warmed up as a team. They started 1 of 10, as we told you earlier. They didn't crack the 30% shooting mark until the final minute of the first half. Texas more than took advantage of the Vandy scoring woes. And here's the star freshman rising up from downtown.
Johnson straight away. MJ Collins guards him. Cut off left elbow to Weaver. Weaver curls into the paint. Kick out. Johnson to his left. Deep three. Swish. Trey Johnson's first three. It's the first three in this game for either side.
We knew
someone was going to hit it. 31-19. Texas by 12.
Trey Johnson from deep. As you heard, the Longhorns lead would swell to as many as 17 points, and at intermission, the margin is 15. It is all burnt orange here in downtown Nashville. Texas up 41-26 on Vanderbilt at halftime. Arthur Kaluma with a game-high 11 points at the break. Mark and Johnson each with 9. And Texas making it look easy here in downtown Nashville. Up 41-26 on Vanderbilt. Again, if you're just joining us, this is game 2 of the day. Earlier, it was 9th-seeded Arkansas getting a scare, but escaping 16th-seed South Carolina 72-68. Arkansas at one point in the second half led by as many as 20 before going on a serious scoring drought. South Carolina would trim the lead all the way down to 1. Never took a lead in the second half, but got it within a couple of points late in the ball game. Arkansas is able to survive and advance, and in doing so, Razorbacks get a date with 8th-seed Ole Miss. That'll be game 1 here on day 2, Thursday. That game set for a noon local tip. Again, winner of Texas and Vanderbilt advances to get the 5-seed Texas A&M in the second game on Thursday. And of course, still to come here in downtown Nashville, evening session gets going. Mississippi State, the 10-seed, taking on 15th-seeded LSU. That'll be followed in the nightcap by 11th-seeded Georgia and the 14th-seed Oklahoma. More to come in our halftime show. Again, Texas up 41-26 on Vanderbilt at the break. We're back to Nashville after this timeout on the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, you know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up, but it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
Severance Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV+.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Our message got out. We're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
What did you see?
My Naughty's wife is Miss Casey.
If you want to find out what happened to her, I'll help. She's still alive.
I want to see my wife.
You should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
Lobs it up in a right-hand jam. Have mercy.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
Mercedes-Benz asks you this. What do elite athletes and luxury vehicles have in common? A winning drive for starters. Both are versatile, intelligent, and constantly innovating. Both navigate speed bumps and leave fans with goosebumps. And of course, only the best become stars. Mercedes-Benz, available in electric, gas, or plug-in hybrid. Discover uncompromising luxury at your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Learn more at MBUSA.com. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Cover 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Green Print plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network. Time now for the Regions Scoreboard Update. Regions, official bank of the SEC.
Halftime here in downtown Nashville, where Texas, the tournament's 13 seed, leads 12th seeded Vanderbilt 41-26. Stephen Hartzell back with you courtside. What else is going on in college basketball? Well, a lot. Let's get you caught up on some scores. Big 12 Conference Championship, second round action in Kansas City. Colorado and West Virginia tied at 46. There's 7 minutes to play in that ball game. Big 10 tournament is underway in Indianapolis. Northwestern up a dozen on Minnesota, 44-32. They've just started the second half there. Big East tournament underway at Madison Square Garden. Butler leads Providence 34-31. 2 minutes to go in the first half there. Mountain West Championship underway in Las Vegas. Nevada with a early 12-2 lead on Fresno State. Finals from earlier today. Georgia Tech beat Virginia in the ACC tournament. The Jackets advance. They will get top-seeded Duke in the quarterfinal round tomorrow. Iowa State blows out Cincinnati 76-56 in the second round of the Big 12 tournament. And it was North Carolina, this game just going final. Tar Heels take care of Notre Dame 76-56. That is a second round score from the ACC tournament in Charlotte. That is significant. North Carolina, the 5 seed, advances to get Wake Forest in the quarterfinal round on Thursday. Tar Heels, one of those teams, much like Oklahoma, who we're going to see here later tonight, fighting to keep their NCAA tournament at large hopes alive. Start of the second half between Texas and Vanderbilt coming up in a couple of minutes. 41-26. Longhorns with the lead on the Commodores. Andrew Monaco and Richard Williams will be back with the second half call after this timeout on the SEC Radio Network.
At Sprouts Farmers Market, we're all about fresh, healthy, and delicious. Every shopping trip is an adventure, with new and ahead-of-the-trend products hitting the shelves every month. From the latest mouth-watering vegan and gluten-free cookies to yummy plant-based protein bars, there's always something new to explore. Plus, find more than 2,800 Sprouts brand items filled with incredible flavor and better-for-you ingredients. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts today, the official grocer of the Southeastern Conference.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Cover 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Green Print plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Texas leads Vanderbilt 41-26 as we get ready for the start of the second half. Before we do those stations, let's pause 10 seconds. 10 seconds for station ID here on the SEC Radio Network. All right, we bring back in our broadcast crew of Andrew Monaco and Richard Williams. Guys, Texas made that look easy. Dream start for the Longhorns through the first 20 minutes here in the tournament.
Absolutely, and I love the balanced scoring as we look at the stats presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. 11 for Kaluma, 9 for Mark, 9 for Trey Johnson, 6 for Shedrick. I thought Kendall Weaver was great. No points, but I thought he was the person that really kind of jump-started them off the bench, Richard, and really Vanderbilt not hitting shots, one and done. The rebounds, 24-14, Texas in that first half. Not a lot of second-chance opportunities despite Vanderbilt's misses.
No, not very many. And Vandy, the problem is they just didn't shoot the ball well in the first half. 31%, 9 for 29. They were 1 of 9 from the three-point line. And that's just, it's hard to beat a team as talented as Texas if you can't make some perimeter shots. But Texas is just a very talented basketball team, Andrew. They're big, they're strong, they're athletic, and they have Trey Johnson, who is a difference maker, although he was kind of quiet in the first half. He had 9 points. You know, most guys get 9, and that's pretty good.
That's right.
He get 9 in the first half, and you think, well, he just goes quiet.
He was kind of quiet, yeah. But they have the talent around him and that experienced talent that if you want to take, he didn't force anything in that first half either.
Well, the games I've seen him play, he doesn't look like he forces shots at all, but he can go get one when he needs to. But he's a very patient player offensively. But you can tell, you can just see the talent he has. But, and we talked about this in the first half with Trayvon Mark. At some point, somebody has to get on his left hand and see if he can go right. I don't know if he can or not because they don't make him go that way.
That's a good point.
But we do know one thing. He can go left.
Yes, he can. He has shown that to the tune of 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line. Kaluma, 11 points, 5 rebounds. 5 rebounds as well for Weaver. Texas gets the ball first here in our second half. Vanderbilt, 6 for Magnon, 5 apiece for Tyler Nickel and Jason Edwards, 4 for Tyler Tanner, and 4 for Devin McLaughlin. It is Tremont Mark along with Jordan Pope. Shedrick Johnson nearly stolen. Is stolen. Oh, Magnon could not tightrope this sideline in front of us across from the benches. He steps out of bounds after the steal.
Well, if he'd have been able to come up with that and get an easy basket, it certainly would have given Vandy a little bit of momentum starting in the second half.
No reset shot clock, still at 23 seconds. Shooting to the basket to our left is Texas in front of their bench. Trey Johnson, Tremont Mark, Arthur Kaluma, Caden Shedrick, and Jordan Pope. They're starting 5. But Mark has been the primary ball handler in this game. Pope, top of the arc. Pope for Mark, 5 to shoot. Into the paint, protects the basketball, flips a shot, missed everything, and Shedrick goes over the back. That is a foul. He got the offensive rebound and the putback, but he went over the back, and that ends up being a foul on Shedrick. His second. And this is what Vanderbilt has to do. They've got to get stops on one end, right, and convert on the other. There's no 15-point play. They've got to get some kind of confidence offensively. Just 9 of 29 in that first half.
Well, they have to get Edwards more involved in the offense. He's their leading scorer. He only had 5 points in the first half.
Hogard played much of that first half with 2 personal fouls. Hogard and Edwards. Magnon, Nickel, McLaughlin for Vanderbilt. Nickel down the right lane line on Mark. Spins inside the paint. Out to Edwards. 3 left wing. Hits. He listened to you.
That's what they need.
41-29. First 3 for Edwards. All SEC third team. For Jason Edwards. 8 to lead Vanderbilt in scoring. And a weave in between the circles. Now on the left wing, Mark. Foul line extended. He's below the etched out SEC logo. Shooting to the basket to our left. Magnon switches. Straight away. Trey Johnson, the 3. Flat. Tipped off the backboard. Magnon to himself. Up the right side, Hogard. Skip pass, left corner, Tyler Nickel. No good. Looking for back-to-back threes. McLaughlin behind the back. Nickel. No. Misses another three. McLaughlin with a tip out. Third time. And underneath the basket. Vladimir Voyard-Tadal. Down on that baseline is Magnon. The right baseline. So a stoppage of play. 2-3 attempts by Nickel, and McLaughlin keeping alive.
Boy, Nickel had a great look at it to cut the lead to, within to 9 points, and so that would give Vandy some momentum coming back out the second half. And again, they're trying to get Edwards more involved in the offense, but they're attacking the glass more already. They were out-rebounded so much in the first half, and so they've attacked the glass much better in the second half.
And that's the guy they want shooting the three over there, right in the corner or in the wing, Tyler Nickel.
Yes.
So Magnon leaves and Collins comes on. 41-29. Down the right lane line. Hogard attacks glass. Falls off the front of the rim. But more aggressive Vanderbilt here in the second half. And it will be Hogard at the line. Shedrick picks up his second of the half, his third of the game. 41-29, Texas by 12. Hogard at the line.
Vanderbilt this half so far, of course, we haven't gone very far in this half, but they look like they're playing a little bit more of a sense of urgency than they did in the first half.
Hogard misses. Shedrick will leave for Jason Kent. And Zarek Onyema also comes on as Kaluma and Shedrick sit. Hogard, second of two, makes that. 3 points for him. He had 14 with 6 assists in the game at Vanderbilt. 41-30. Texas with the basketball up by 11 from on mark. Straight away, Onyema. He'll swing through on the right side. The jumper is left short by Pope. The rebound, Nickel. Nickel racing. Trey Johnson gets back. Trailing McLaughlin. Edwards. Slot left beyond the arc. Pope guards him. A McLaughlin screen from the right elbow. Missed that. Rebound, Kent. Kent's 8th board. Underneath the basket, Trey Johnson slips that in. He's in double figures with 11. All but 2 games he's been in double digits. 43-30. Texas's first bucket of the second half. 17:25 to play. Still up 13. Down the right lane line, Hogard to the trailer, Nickel. Little 5-footer, left at 4 feet, got his own. Kick out, Collins attacks, left lane line, flares to the wing. In front of his own bench. Now attacks, stops, spins. Collins will step through, no, pinballs, back to Collins, to McLaughlin who lays it in. A little cross lane pass, right block, left block. 6 for McLaughlin, 43-32.
Well, there's no doubt that Vandy is more active in this half.
Pope straight away on Yema. Hands off Trey Johnson. And Collins locks him up. He grabs that left elbow. Collins first. Vanderbilt's first here in the second half. 16:47 to play.
Andrew, if you see most teams now, or many teams, switch everything on defense. It's all switch. Vandy does not do much switching. They'll switch occasionally, but they play old school defense. They guard their man. They're often help when you're supposed to be often help. It's a very fundamentally sound defensive system they use.
Inbound to Pope. Kendall Weaver is back in. Pope shy of the right elbow. Picks up the dribble. Edwards guards him. In the right corner, it's Kent. Gives back. Pope on the right wing. Now on Nickel. 15-footer right wing is good. Pope has 5. Texas 45. Vanderbilt 32. 16:25 to play. Second half. Down the right lane line. Hogard too strong on the layup, and Kent with another rebound. That is number 9 for him. Trey Johnson fakes the 3. Trey Johnson into the paint. Slips a pass to Kent on the drive. He is fouled. Edwards picks up the foul for Vanderbilt. Jalen Carey was scoreless in that first half. Comes off the bench for Nickel. I say that because Carey, 18 and 14. One of his 3 double-doubles was against Texas. 9.5 points, over 6 rebounds a game in conference for Carey. In the paint, Onyema over Carey hits. The left hand, the first two for Zarek Onyema. John Jay High School in San Antonio. 47-32, back up 15 are the Longhorns. Lob inside for Carey. And it goes over his head, out of bounds, over the end line with 15:50 to play in this second half. It's Texas 47 and Vanderbilt 32. This is the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a farm-rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, big...
Cheers, basketball fans. Who are you rooting for today in this matchup? Well, get loud in the chat, cheer them on, and hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world. And while we're doing that, the main reason is this SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign that is now live. It is underway. Please check the link that is in the description as well as pinned in the chat. And donate if you are able. If not, please share it out. We are going to raise, the goal is at least $100,000 for SickKids Hospital from now until a champion is crowned at the Final Four. We'll see you back in the chat. Go, whichever team it is you're going for. Go Gators.
By Johnsonville, reminding everyone to keep it fun, keep it together, and keep it juicy. And by the Sonic Smasher. Live free, eat Sonic.
47-32. Texas has the 15-point lead. That's what it was at the break. 6 points apiece here in our second half. And now Texas with 2 in double figures. Arthur Kaluma has 11. Trey Johnson has joined him with 11. 9 for Tremont Mark in this second half. Vanderbilt 2 of 8. Texas 3 of 6. Vanderbilt had the early start, but all that momentum, Texas responded to go back up by 15. Seed Vanderbilt. 13th seed Texas. Winner advances. Will take on the 5th seed Texas A&M tomorrow. 2:30 tip after Ole Miss takes on Arkansas. Arkansas defeated South Carolina. Arkansas had a 20-point lead in that game. And it went down to the wire.
It did. If Texas and Texas A&M play tomorrow, it looks like that could happen. Those are rivals, right?
Correct.
I thought they
were. Yeah, slight.
Just slight.
So they already played twice, right? They hadn't played an awful lot since A&M went to the SEC, right? So it takes playing a third game this season in Nashville, right? The 2 Texas schools will play possibly in Nashville.
Should be a good one.
Should be. Slight rivals, yeah. That's like when we come to Nashville and Mississippi State's playing Ole Miss, or right? Auburn and Alabama are playing here.
Right.
$15:50 left in our second half. Texas, the 47-32 lead on Vanderbilt. Magnon is back in for Vanderbilt. He had left injured just before that timeout. Jordan Pope into the front court with Kendall Weaver, Jason Kent, Trey Johnson, Zarek Onyema. Pope on the right wing, above foul line extended. Trey Johnson, Magnon guards him. From the Texas bench to the right baseline. Little 5-footer hits the side of the backboard, and Magnon comes away with a rebound. That's number 5 for him. Into the front court. Magnon stops left lane line. Kick out. Hobart. Jab step. Now lets a 3 fly. In and out. No good. And the rebound. It caroms to Kent. That's 10 boards for Jason Kent. Underhand toss to Johnson of a foul line extended on the left side. Closer to the sideline. Top of the arc. He can't shed Magnon. Picks up the dribble. Inside the paint, Kent. To his left on McLaughlin. Had it, lost it, got it back. 10 to shoot, step through, banked it up, no good. Weaver keeps alive for an offensive rebound. Reset shot clock. Pope all the way to the basket. Missed the layup. Fouled by Hogard. That's number 3 on the Vanderbilt guard. Pope to the line.
You know, Weaver's a guy that just makes hustle plays. Just
this entire game.
That's what he does.
And that was missing for the majority of the conference season for Texas. That's hard to replace, Coach. Is it not? A player who gives you that?
Yeah, the guy that just do those kinds of things. You know, it's not scoring. He just rebounds. He defends. He gets on the floor for loose balls. He does all of those little things that coaches love.
Free throw good by Pope. 6 points for him. My partner always says this. When you have to think about diving on the floor, it's too late.
Well, absolutely.
and that's the guy Weaver. When he sees that loose ball, in his mind, he goes, that's mine, right?
That's the way he plays. No question.
Tanner for Hogard, who leads with 3 personal fouls. Pope will get another. And extends Texas's lead to 49-32. 7 for Pope. 14:45 as Tanner into the front court with Nickel, Carey, McLaughlin, and Magnon. Tanner left elbow. Now beyond the arc. Zipper pass on the right side. Magnon attacks on the right wing. Switches to the left hand, and on the drive, he is fouled by Trey Johnson. He'll earn 2 free throws. Trey's second. And he is Trey because it's Richard Earl Johnson III.
But I don't think it's spelled T-R-E-Y. It's T-R-E.
It's just T-R-E, yeah. Oh, we're all going to know how to spell his name because we're going to watch him be playing for a long time. Scoots out by Magnon. I am impressed by not just freshmen who can play college basketball, Coach, but freshmen who can play at this level in the SEC.
And you don't see a lot of them anymore because everybody wants to go old. Everybody, to be a freshman at this level and be able to play like that, you have to be really good because if you're just an okay high school player now, you're not getting recruits this level anymore.
No, you're not.
There's no development or very little development going on. They want older guys, transfer portal guys, and I understand that.
Right. 49-33. Texas by 16 after Magnon makes the second of 2. Drive the right baseline. Weaver around to carry. No good. He influenced that shot. Rebound. Vanderbilt. Tanner on the front court on the left side. Tanner curls into the paint. Tanner drives all the way to the right corner. Now Magnon up top. Magnon crosses over on Kent. And he just bullies his way down the left lane line and earns 2 more free throws.
Well, Magnon has been really aggressive this half on both ends of the floor, guarding Trey Johnson at times. And when he has the ball in his hand on the offensive end, he's trying to get to the rim.
Made 1 of 2 his last time at the line.
Here's Magnon at the line, shooting 2.
7 points for him, 5 of 6 from the line. Magnon's first. Short. Kaluma comes in for Onyema. Done a nice job with rotation, has Texas, because if you're playing on Wednesday, the longer you stay, you can't have those minutes pile up in this tournament. Second of 2 good for Magnon.
And that's going to be one of the things that could affect Arkansas because
agreed.
7 players.
Agreed.
That's all they play.
Yep. 49-34. So 2 of 4 for Magnon the last 2 times on the line. 13:50 to play. Second half. Texas with the ball up 15, 49-34. Pope. Foul line extended left side where he gives off to Trey Johnson. High on the left wing. It's underneath that etched out SEC logo at half court. Johnson, hook pass just behind. Kent threw it out of bounds. Vanderbilt basketball.
Good idea, poor execution.
Trey's looking at Jason Kent.
You know, one of the things I liked about that, though, Trey Johnson looked at Kent and he said, my fault.
Correct.
He didn't blame Kent.
Correct. Nope, he did not. Nope.
I like that.
And I think Kent went back to him and said, I like that.
Absolutely.
And that can only rub off on a younger player having this much experience playing with him. In the left corner, it's Magnon. Goes to work on Trey Johnson, protects the basketball, spins back to his left, banks it in. He's got 10. 49-36. But someone's got to join him if Vanderbilt wants to make a comeback. Weaver above foul line extended on the left side. 13 minutes to play, 49-36. Texas up 13, and Pope with the basketball. Using a Kent screen on the left wing, Weaver. To the left baseline, Kaluma. Kaluma on the left wing, 7 to shoot. Inside the paint, spins to the SEC logo, out to Trey Johnson, rises, and buries the three. His second three, 14 for Trey Johnson, 52-36.
But that's what Trey Johnson gives you, Andrew. The shot clock is running down. It's almost running out. They throw it out to him for a long three-pointer. He buries it.
Does it seem like a chore for Vanderbilt to score, but not for Texas? Inside, nice pass. Inside, laid in by Tyler Nickel.
It hasn't been for Texas much today, and it has been for Vandy. No question about that. You just look at the percentages. But I think one of the things I think Vandy is doing this half, I don't know if they did it on the scout report or covered that, but Magnon is trying to make Johnson be a defender this half.
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people do against guys that score. Make them guard.
Have to. They've got to play 94 feet.
Yep.
52-38. Texas with the basketball up 14. Under 12 to play. 5 on the shot clock. Trey Johnson, the ball's back in his hands. Zip, Kaluma, catch, right elbow jumper. Too strong off the heel. Weaver keeps alive. Tracked down by Tyler Tanner in front of the Texas bench. To the basket to our right goes Tanner. Tanner in front of Mark Byington. In that Vanderbilt bench. Tanner, paint, and he is fouled on that drive. He will be at the free throw line with Tyler Tanner. Texas 52, Vanderbilt 38 with 11:36 to play in our second half. This is the SEC Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legends, the places, the faces, and moments.
And he's going for it. It's a touchdown!
We've seen the confetti fall again and again. But we're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
How about this? Back to Music City after this timeout. This is the SEC Radio Network.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field. But today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, price lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
It's a 52-38 Texas lead on Vanderbilt in this 12-13 matchup. Second game of the day. 2025 ends SEC. Tournaments. Back here in Nashville, all 16 schools are here. Texas has the 52-38 lead. Tyler Tanner will be at the line for Vanderbilt. Just a 1-point difference here in the second half. Cannot creep any closer. And I guess if I reverse it, Texas has had an answer for Vanderbilt here in the second half every time they've tried to make a run.
Yeah, neither team shooting it great in the second half. Both teams 4 of 11 from the field. Both teams just made 1 3-pointer. But Vandy's taken 4 3-pointers, 1 for 4. Texas 1 for 2.
For this game, Vanderbilt at 32.5%. Texas is shooting 45% from the floor. And they have gotten to the free throw line as well. Although Vanderbilt's been more aggressive here in the second half, especially Magnon, and now Tyler Tanner will be at that free throw line. 20 wins, by the way, for Mark Byington this season. 1 off. Eddie Fogler won 21 in his first season at Vanderbilt. And for Rodney Terry, who took over for Chris Beard, who's now at Ole Miss in his third season, he has had a ton of success Rodney as an assistant for a long time under Rick Barnes, also with Chris Beard. This is his 13th season as a head coach at UTEP and at Fresno State. And here at Texas, he has had a lot of influence in who he has brought to Austin to play. Outstanding recruiter.
And he also has 2 former head coaches on the bench over at Frank H. Steve McClain.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, he does. There's the experience there in that coaching staff. Here's Tanner. 2 of 2 in the first half from the free throw line. 4 points for the freshman from Brentwood. In and out, no good. I had no problem with Bruce Pearl being coach of the year. Sometimes we don't reward excellence year after year after year. But I'm with you on Mark Byington. Definitely deserved consideration. Dennis Gates at Missouri, I thought had an outstanding season as well. 2nd of 2 for Tanner.
There are a lot of good coaching jobs in the league this year.
A lot of good coaches.
But what Bruce Pearl did was outstanding.
Look, he took everybody's best shot. He and Auburn took everybody's best shot every single game.
Yep.
There's no night off for them. Inside Shedrick, and he dunks it. Shedrick. He got behind that Vanderbilt defense, and he dunks it 54-39. 15-point Texas lead. Shedrick has 8. They have 2 in double figures and a couple more knocking on the door of double figures. Do the Longhorns. Hogard in between the circles. Using a carry screen to his left, Shedrick switches and then poked from behind by Mark over the left baseline. That inbound will occur near that left corner. 7 to shoot. 10:52 left. Edwards back in. You know, it's funny, you were talking about it. They have to get Edwards free, and he just cannot get that free. 3 of 8 from the floor for his 8 points.
You know, I talked to Rick Ray before the game about Vandy, and Rick Ray's a former Mississippi State head coach, so I've known Rick quite a while now. And he said Edwards has to score for them to have a chance.
Yep. In that win over Texas, he had 17. And Hogard had 14. Well, Edwards has 8. He did hit a 3. Inside, nickel, turnaround, short, rebound, Kaluma. That's rebound number 6 for Arthur Kaluma. Edwards has 8. Hogard has 3. With 10.5 to play in our second half. 54-39 Texas. Mark directs traffic. Tanner on him. And the right wing inside the arc, the 15-footer. There is that mid-range jumper. But it was on the right side for Tremont Mark.
He loves it, though. He loves the mid-range shot. 11
for him. He's the 3rd Longhorn in double figures. 10:15 to play. 56-39. Texas by 17. Hogard top of the arc. He pulls Shedrick out. Now Edwards in between the circles. Trey Johnson on him. Edwards, left hand, spins back to his right. Tries to step through, can't. Kick out to nickel. Doesn't handle cleanly. All the way to the hoop. Driving layup, counted and one for Tyler Nickel. I mean, he's a 3-point threat. Run off the line, so he attacks the glass and all the way to the rim.
Well, if he can get someone, because he is a 3-point threat, so if people close out on him too hard and make a long closeout and not under good control, he can get by them and get to the rim.
And you have an 83% free throw shooter on that line. Trying to complete a 3-point play. 56-41 Texas. 56-42 Texas. That puts Vanderbilt in the bonus. 17 fouls on Texas. 56-42 with 9:50 to play. Mark and Pope in between the circles. Looping pass to Mark on the left side in the left corner. Trey Johnson lets the 3 fly, and he rips it. Hits his 3rd 3, 2nd in this half. He's got 17 to lead all scorers. 59-42 Longhorns. Hogard down the right lane line. Stops, spins, picks up the basketball. Magnon attacks, leans in. He is fouled. If it's Mark, that's number 3. It's on Mark. It's number 3. He and Shedrick playing with 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, Magnon's a little slow to get up that time, but he's been really aggressive in the second half.
I'm going to use the cliche, right? There are guys who just give you everything. He's one of those guys. On the floor, advertently or inadvertently at times. I mean, I know Weaver is a bench player for Texas, but but still those heart and soul type guys, right? They just make a difference. Magnon maybe scores a little bit more as opposed to what Weaver's done in this game, but boy, they're the glue guys who I think measure their success in the number of wins each team has.
Oh, yeah, and what you'd like is for the teammates to follow their effort. When your teammates see those guys playing with the kind of effort that they play with, you hope it rubs off on all the other teammates.
59-43. Magnon makes the second of 2. A little pressure in the backcourt that Pope beats, and he comes into the front court and flares to the left wing. Above foul line extended. Trelon Mark between the circles to Pope high on the left wing. 25 feet from the basket. Guarded by Nickel. Gets into the paint from left to right. Stops on the SEC logo inside that paint. Out to Mark. Jab step. 5 to shoot. All the way to the basket. He holds it out. Lays it up and in. Tremont Mark has 13. Texas up 18. 61-43. Lost the basketball. Did Hogard. But to McLaughlin. McLaughlin on the left wing. In the left corner, Edwards. Splits 2 defenders all the way to the hoop. Lay it up. Left it short. And a blocking foul will put Edwards at the line. Foul on Shedrick, number 4.
Well, Edwards, even though he's small, 6'1", he took it right at Shedrick, and he basically just made him foul him.
He, like Trey Johnson, has failed to score double figures in just 2 of Vanderbilt's 31 games.
He's their guy now. He's their best offensive player, and he's their leading scorer, and he knows that, so he's going to get a lot of opportunities to score.
Can you speak to guys like Edwards and Trey Johnson? They're at the top of that scouting report, right? That's a different role for some of these guys, and you've got to carry that mantle, do you not?
Without a doubt. And it's a different thing. Josh Hubbard, Mississippi State, last year as a freshman, kind of surprised people in the league. This year, he is at the top of every scouting report, and they've made it very, very difficult for Josh Hubbard this year. They're guarding Josh much differently off ball screens and handoffs than they did last year.
His speed, though, is such a difference maker with the bat. There are some guys who are fast. There's some guys who are fast with the basketball. Josh Hubbard is both.
He really is. You know, when he was in the ninth grade.
And a hammer by Onyema.
When Josh Hubbard was a ninth grader, he was a big-time football prospect as a defensive back. Yes.
That's why he's so good on defense.
Gave it up.
Yep, he reads that floor. 63-45. Hogard down that left lane line with a pass interrupted by Kaluma. Kick out. Hogard out to Nickel. Deep 3 left side. Off the heel, no good. Mark taps to his teammate Kaluma, and the foul is on Texas.
It's on Mark because he just smacked Magnon on that rebound.
That will be his 4th, and this one will be reviewed.
Well, he went up for the rebound, and with his right arm, he did extend the right arm, the right elbow. Now, I don't know if it's anything malicious. I didn't see it that closely, but he hit him pretty good. You can see it right here on the replay, maybe.
Did he kind of use that shoulder to climb a little higher? So this will be reviewed. 8:12 to play in our second half. 63-45. Texas ahead of Vanderbilt. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Mercedes-Benz asks you this. What do elite athletes and luxury vehicles have in common? A winning drive for starters. Both are versatile, intelligent, and constantly innovating. Both navigate speed bumps and leave fans with goosebumps. And of course, only the best become stars. Mercedes-Benz, available in electric, gas, or plug-in hybrid. Discover uncompromising luxury at your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Learn more at MBUSA.com. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC.
Severance Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV+.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Our message got out. We're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
What did you see? My Audi's wife was Miss Casey.
If you wouldn't find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive.
I want to see my wife.
We should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. By Johnsonville, reminding everyone to keep it fun, keep it together, and keep it juicy. And by the Sonic Smasher. Live free. Eat Sonic.
A 63-45 Texas lead on Vanderbilt with 8:12 to play in our second half. Texas has 3 in double figures. Trey Johnson, 17. Tremont Mark, 13. Arthur Kaluma has 11. And if you add Jason Kent, 10 rebounds, that's another player. Double digits. 10 rebounds for Kent. Kaluma, 6 rebounds. Kendall Weaver, 6 rebounds for Texas. Although Vanderbilt has trimmed that advantage, still a +5 for Texas. 3 in double figures for Vanderbilt. Magnon has 11. Nickel and Edwards, 10 apiece. But Texas by 18, 63-45. There is some foul trouble. 4 for Tremont Mark and 4 for Caden Shedrick. But I think Rodney Terry has used his bench really well and rotated players in and out that they haven't had to rely on the first 5, so to speak. And Weaver, again, Weaver being available, I think makes a big difference.
Well, Texas has good depth, though. It's not like they just play 5-6 guys.
Nope.
They have good depth, and the guys they bring off the bench there, they're not bringing bad players off the bench. They're deep. They're deep with talent.
Well, you have Julian Larry, who's a grad, right? Kendall Weaver, a junior. Onyema is a senior, his second year. He played 3 years, so his 5th year, 3 years at UTEP. And Jason Kent's the grad. And as we talked before, Kent and Larry played together at Indiana State, so you've got that camaraderie that come together. So Magnon at the line.
Chris Magnon at the line.
2 free throws for him. So that foul on Mark was his 4th. And no one on the line for Magnon. First good. Second. In and out, no good. He has split so many free throws at the line, has Magnon. 8 of 12. And keeping the basketball is Vanderbilt, right baseline inbound.
I got ball. Basket. Ball, basket.
It is Hogard. 63-46. Nickel, paint, fade away from 5. Gets the floater to fall. He's got 9. Excuse me. He has 12. 1-3 for Nickel. But he's lived in the paint. 63-48. Under 8 to play. 7:55. Pope, floater, glass, good. Jordan Pope has 9 with 6 in this second half. 65-48. Edwards, return, 2-man game. McLaughlin deflected by Pope. Onyema gives back to Jordan Pope. Turnover number 7 on Vanderbilt. Texas with 8 points off before this possession. 17 for Trey Johnson. Inside the arc. Spins. 10-foot left baseline. No good. Onyema pushed to the court. Kaluma had it. Now Hoggard. Big hop step into the right corner. Edwards 3. In and out. No good. And Onyema with a rebound. His first board. 7:05 left is Trey Johnson in the front court. Front of the official scorers table. Middle of the floor, Magnon. Goes over an Onyema screen. Attacks on the right side. Blocked by McLaughlin. And Magnon tries to save. Cannot.
You know, the last fast break opportunity by Vandy, Andrew, gives you an idea of the modern game. Turn down a layup to throw it out for a 3-point shot.
Yep. I'm just of the belief that 2 would mean an awful lot to Vanderbilt.
I think so. I agree with that. But I'm old school. I'm old and old school.
I say old soul. It doesn't make me sound as old. Curl.
Well, you're not as old as I am. Not even close.
From the free throw line, in and out, no good by Trey Johnson. Even his misses are just off. He rarely misses wildly. Edwards, man, he pulled the trigger on that 3 over Pope. The 3 by Edwards, his second of this half. Vanderbilt calls timeout with 6:42 to play. 65-51. He releases it quickly.
Yes,
does he not?
Well, he has to at his size.
Yes.
Because many times he has a bigger guy guarding him. And so on the closeouts, he has to get it up in a hurry.
65-51, 6:42 to play in our second half. We'll step aside. This is the SEC Radio Network.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field. But today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament.
Wants to try another three. He'll make another three.
On the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a Farm Rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these two lovebirds get one more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with Meemaw.
Well, this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
17 for Trey Johnson to lead the Texas Longhorns, 13 for Tremont Mark, and 11 for Arthur Kaluma. Vanderbilt has three in double figures after Jason Edwards hit that last three prior to the timeout. 13 to lead the Commodores, 12 apiece for Tyler Nickel and Chris Magnon. But it is Texas 65-51. They used a 10-0 run in the first half to give them a cushion that they've not looked back. Vanderbilt is playing uphill where Texas appears to be playing downhill, right? Maybe one of two from the line for Vanderbilt, and Texas hits a three on the other end. And it's just much better flow where Vanderbilt, you said the urgency, but down 14 with 6:42, Richard. It's got to be even more urgent if they want to try to cut into this deficit.
Well, they have to get some turnovers. They have to get some stops, and when they get stops, they have to turn them into points, for sure.
In this game, just 6 Texas turnovers, just 6 points off. 7 Vanderbilt turnovers have become 8 Texas points. Shedrick's back in with 3 personal fouls. Kaluma, Weaver, and Trey Johnson. Pressure in the backcourt. McLaughlin will guard the inbound. Jordan Pope runs the baseline after the made basket. Trey Johnson double-teamed in the backcourt, spins out of it, and finds Kendall Weaver, who gives to Pope into the front court. Magnon is asking Olandis Poole. He thought Trey Johnson traveled in that backcourt. Shedrick between the circles. Dribbles to his left on Nickel. Keeps the dribble alive. Rolls along the perimeter. Gives to Pope. Pope. 6 in the second half, 9 for the game. And the 3 on the wing. Make it a dozen for Pope as he becomes the 4th Longhorn in double figures. 68-51. Texas, 6:10 left. Rolling into the front court. Hogard straight away. McLaughlin on the right wing. Magnon on a curl. Edwards, he lost it. It is stolen by Pope. Pope and Shedrick into the front court. That's the 4th steal for Texas. Trey Johnson, transition 3, no good. Rebound goes over Kaluma to Hogard. Hogard into the front court. Hogard into the paint. Bodied up with Weaver. The left-handed layup is good for Hogard. First field goal of the second half. 5 for this game, 68-53.
Yeah, but that was a tough drive by Hogard that time. He scored against Weaver, and it was against a physical presence.
15-point Texas lead with 5.5 to play. Pope, 9 in this second half, 12 for the game. Magnon runs into Trey Johnson coming up to set a screen. 3rd on him. Fourth team foul on Vanderbilt. The Commodores are in the double bonus. Texas with 10 team fouls in this second half. But Vanderbilt just 9 of 15 from the line in this second half and 16 of 24 for the game. Weaver, top of the arc on the right side, knocked free by Magnon. It's a race into the backcourt, and Magnon pushes off Trey Johnson. Going for that loose ball. And that's the fourth on Magnon.
That was just not a very good pass is what caused that entire play that time. It just, you get in trouble and you pick your dribble up and you start searching somebody to throw it to, and so many times that's going to become a turnover.
Weaver in the backcourt with Pope, Shedrick, Kaluma, and Johnson. Trey Johnson down the left lane line. Has it stolen. Nickel with a steal up ahead for Edwards. Edwards attacks Pope. Fouled. Blocked by Weaver. And goaltend. I think they'll review this. The foul on Pope. Edwards on the driving layup. Doug Schowles will now talk with Alandis Poole. And he'll come over, take a look at this at the official scorers table. I believe Don Daly is our official over there on the table, the fourth official, if you will. And here they get to talk with Birmingham.
I did a panel discussion yesterday here in Nashville with 3 or 4 other people, and it came up about the review, the how many times the officials go to monitor the reviews and all that. And a guy made an interesting point. He said, timeouts are timed. Why don't they time the officials looking at the reviews?
Here's the thing that gets me about being in Birmingham, and I'm going to take the NBA side of this, right? Because when you're back in, you have producers who are back there in that officials room, and they click any play that is potentially a reviewable play, so you can get to it immediately. And here, this is done very quickly. You can see it very quickly. So when you have that kind of synergy, if you will, you can go back, here's the play we want to see. Now, sometimes, depending on the game and what type of TV crew is there, is it a big crew, small crew? Here, you're going to have a whole bunch of looks, right?
Without a doubt.
Yeah. But in some games, you may not have that. So no goaltend. So the first is free throw is good by Edwards. 4 of 6 from the line for him. And that can speed it up. But sometimes, as you know, Coach, you don't get a great look at it. And that's why the call on the court is the most important. Because if it can't be overturned, that's where stands and confirms come in.
Yep.
And that's whether for baseball, football, basketball as well. 2 of 2 from the line, 68-55. Edwards with 15. Jump past Kaluma. Kaluma down the right lane line. Pass inside, and McLaughlin bumps Shedrick, who was to the left of the basket. McLaughlin has been strangely quiet today. Sixth team foul on Vanderbilt. Second on McLaughlin. Okay, I got the first part right. It's the second part wrong. 3 on McLaughlin. Shedrick hands off to Johnson. Curls all the way to the hoop. He is fouled by Hogard with the reach-in. Trey Johnson to the line. I'm sorry, McLaughlin with a foul. That's 4 on Devin.
You correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you play-by-play guys study this a lot more than I do. I think I'm right in saying that Trey Johnson, when the season started, for sure, could have been a senior in high school age-wise.
Yes,
he was like 17 years old. He reclassified.
He reclassified,
yes.
Yeah.
So as good as he is, he's still really young.
He has another year, right? Yeah. So his debut was 29 against Ohio State. They opened the season in Vegas. He had 29. If you thought it was a fluke, he came out with 28 in his second game. He proved he was for real.
Yeah, he is not a fluke, that's for sure.
Look, Durant, Aldridge were one-and-dones under Rick Barnes at Texas. Trey Johnson, I have seen, could be a top 6 pick in the NBA. Off the ball, Kaluma on the foul, trailing Nickel. And that will put Nickel on the line. when for 2 because Vanderbilt's in the double bonus. Fears at Oklahoma, Asa Newell at Georgia, more impact freshman.
Fears is really good also now, especially off the high ball screens. He can use the high ball screen really well.
That Oklahoma offense is difficult to defend under Porter Moser, is it not?
It is.
At 5 out, if you will. And Jalen Morzak, again, there's an experienced guy with those young guys. Really leads to that development.
You know, Porter Moser one time was Wimp Sanderson's assistant coach at Arkansas Little Rock.
Arkansas Little Rock. I mean, that's that Final Four experience. Another SEC coach. Another successful one. 2 of 2 for Nickel. 70-57 with 4.5 to play. Texas with the ball, ahead by 13. Trying to trap Pope in the backcourt. He outraces Magnon into the front court, middle of the floor. Keep the dribble alive, back to the basket. In that center jump circle, Tremont Mark takes over. J.Q. Roberts is on him. Kaluma, shy of the right elbow. Goes to the right baseline, knocks down Roberts. He used the left shoulder and gets called for the offensive foul.
You know, Kaluma's like one of those running backs that doesn't dodge tacklers. They seek contact. He seeks contact and seems to like it.
The only thing he needs is that Earl Campbell tearaway jersey.
Yes.
Right? 4:09 to play. Texas has the 70-57 lead. Rolling the ball to Edwards, who will pick it up at half court. In the front court, Edwards. 15 for him. 10 in the second half. Nickel turns, fires 3 off the heel. Chased down by Pope in that left corner. And he finds Mark along the baseline. Races Magnon side by side into the front court. On the wing, Johnson 3. In and out, no good. And McLaughlin the rebound. His 6th. Front court, Edwards, middle of the floor. Stop and go. Pass Mark. Challenges Shedrick. He gets the block, but the follow is good by McLaughlin. And again, a timeout called by Vanderbilt. 70-59. Texas has an 11-point lead with 3:41 to play in our second half. We step aside, and this is the SEC Radio Network.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Number 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Green Print plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC.
Johnsonville asks, know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that.
Cheers, basketball fans. Who are you rooting for today in this matchup? Well, get loud in the chat, cheer them on, and hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world. And while we're doing that, the main reason is this SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign that is now live. It is underway. Please check the link that is in the description as well as pinned in the chat. And donate if you are able. If not, please share it out. We are going to raise, the goal is at least $100,000 for SickKids Hospital from now until a champion is crowned at the Final Four. We'll see you back in the chat. Go, whichever team it is you're going for. Go Gators.
All 16 teams are here. 4 games on Wednesday, 4 games on Thursday. Remember when 2 teams wouldn't make it? You were surviving to try to make it. No one wanted to play on Wednesday, those 2 night sessions. And I love what they've done here. A lot of the general admission seating. So if you're in the area, you can come. And I did not realize this. The student tickets. You show a student ID, you get in for $10.
I did not know that.
That's outstanding. And some of these schools on spring break, so you're seeing a lot of students here. I just love what downtown Nashville does. I think it's a wonderful place for this tournament.
It's the best. The best place we hold a tournament, right here.
I love it.
You can walk out the door and you can be on Broadway and be in Tootsie in 2 minutes.
Have you timed it?
Probably not that long.
He is Richard Williams. I'm Andrew Monaco. We're so glad you're with us. 70-59. Foul in the backcourt. Jaquelin Roberts fouls Tremont Mark. 7th-team foul on Vanderbilt, so a 1-and-1 for Mark, who has 13 points. 3 of 4 from the line. That was in the first half, his first trip here in the second half. Roberts was a kid that Jerry Stackhouse had brought onto campus, and he's one of the few who survived. Mark Byington really changed this roster for Vanderbilt. They really like Roberts.
He has almost an entire new team, an entire new roster.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mark gets that to crawl through. It just sat on the front of that rim. He gets the front end of the 1-and-1 and earns another. Left-hander. Makes both. 15 for Tremont Mark.
Well, he has great rotation on that shot, that free throw. Really pretty rotation. Nice high release.
On the right wing, catch and shoot McLaughlin. Woefully short as it was over Shedrick. Mark with a rebound. 3.5 to play. 72-59 is the Texas lead. Side by side with Tanner. Stop and go. Mark. Now they'll bleed some clock. Slot left beyond the arc, left side lane, and as he drives, either a Tanner reach or the foul by Nickel, it will be Nickel. On the drive, another 1-and-1 for Tremont Mark.
You know, he dribbled the ball 3/4 length of the court that time, and nobody ever got on his left-hand side. Not one time did they get to his left-hand side.
Fairly certain that's in the scouting report.
Oh, without a doubt, it's in the scouting report. But just because it's in the scout report doesn't mean it's going to be taken to the game by some players. Plus, it's easy for me to sit here and say get on his left hand. He doesn't want you to get on the left hand. And he's got all kind of inside-out dribbles and hesitation dribbles to get in the left hand.
Hogard kick. Nickel slot right. Attacks Shedrick. Cut off right lane line. Tanner underneath the basket right to left to Edwards. He attacks on the left wing. Big hop step. Lay it up and in. 17 for him. 72-61. And Tremont Mark may have gotten hit in the face. He'll come off. J.Q. Roberts will come back in. Edwards and Nickel leave. Magnon and Roberts join Tanner, Hogard, and McLaughlin. Texas counters with Pope, who will inbound. Johnson to the basketball. Instead, Kaluma comes back with Mark. Up ahead, Johnson. He's got Shedrick. But he backs out. 2:40 left, 72-61, Texas. Give to Kaluma, free throw line. Kick in the left corner, Pope. Pope behind the back, on the wing. Shot clock now at 10. 2.5 to play, 72-61. Pope, left side lane, Kaluma. Out to Pope for three. Around and out, rebound by McLaughlin. Between two defenders and Hogard. The runner is good, 72-63. The lead in single digits with 2:05 to play. Pope saves right baseline on the looping pass from Trey Johnson. Gives back to Trey. 30 feet from the basket, high on the right wing. He's in front of Rodney Terry, his head coach. Crossover dribble to the right baseline. He's got J.Q. Roberts on him. Backs out beyond the arc. Three. No. Rebound, Magnon. Without a field goal in the last 4 minutes. Texas, Magnon inside. McLaughlin hits. 7-point game. 10 for McLaughlin.
Well, Vanderbilt's done what they need to do to get back in the game. They get stops. Texas has gone over 2 minutes without scoring a basket, so that's what Vandy had to do to get back in the game, and then they convert on the other end.
Texas is 0 for its last 4, 1 for its last 8. And this 6-0 run for Vanderbilt makes it 72-65 with 1:35 remaining. It's not as if Texas hasn't milked the clock. They've had the ball in the right shooter's hands.
Yeah, they have. And you can bet coming out of this timeout that they're going to get the ball to Trey Johnson or Tremont Mark.
Yep.
One of those two you can just count. They're going to get the ball and try to get the shot.
I believe Vanderbilt's out of timeouts. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the SEC Radio Network. (72-65) with 1:35 to play. Texas has a 7-point lead. What is it about this building and this tournament where no lead is seemingly safe?
Well, we've talked about the balance in the league this year. Now, there's some really, really good teams at the top, but there's some good teams at the bottom. There's some good teams in the middle. The entire league is good, and no game is easy when you get to the Southeastern Conference this year, as good as the league is.
The last time Vanderbilt got this lead in single digits was 28-19 with 3:50 to play in the first half. It's been in double digits until these back-to-back hoops by Vanderbilt. 1:30 left. Pope across the timeline. 72-65 to Mark. Back to Pope in front of the center jump circle. 1:15 to play. 10 on the shot clock. Pope top of the arc. On the left wing, Mark. 5 to shoot. Hogard has him. To his right. Fouled from behind. And McLaughlin came over. 2 free throws for Mark. It is one thing to defend. It is another to defend without fouling. The foul on McLaughlin is his 5th. He's disqualified.
And that shot looked like it was a little bit going to be an off-balance shot because he went right. I don't know if they forced him right, but he went to his right hand that time for one of the few times in the game, and he didn't take just a smooth jump shot like he normally does. It looked like a little bit of an off-balance shot, but they bailed him out by fouling him.
So with McLaughlin fouling out, Vanderbilt will sub, and Mark will be on the line. Take that back. They went over to review that, and Vladimir Voyard-Tadal says it's on Roberts, his 2nd, not the 5th on McLaughlin. And used as an unofficial timeout for both schools. But it puts Mark on the line, who is 5 of 7 from the stripe. 15 points for him.
You know, Vandy's been pressing after made baskets, and one thing Texas has done a really good job of. Vandy's trying to force them to the deep corners for the first to throw in. Texas is not going to the corner to receive the first pass against the press. They're keeping it somewhat in the middle of the floor, which makes the trap harder to set.
They haven't thrown it to Trey Johnson, and Kaluma has come back for that ball. Mark's free throw is good. It bounces in. 16 for him. 73-65 with 1:07 to play. Mark makes the 2nd. Texas 74, Vanderbilt 65. Tanner and Hogard with Edwards, McLaughlin, and Nickel. Rolling the ball. Mark comes to half court, and Edwards lets it roll into the front court. All the way to the basket. Hogard lays it up and in. And a player is down. It is Edwards. At the top of the key. We're going to review this.
Yeah, Edwards might have been the player setting the screen. But somebody came up and set a solid screen.
This is being reviewed. And Doug Schau's telling us the previous action is under review. Shedrick swings his elbow and catches Edwards at that right elbow.
Yeah, you can see Edwards comes up and sets a solid screen there on Shedrick, and that's what freed the dribbler up to get to the rim, but he does swing the elbow and hits him right in the face.
Also going over that is Mark trying to guard Hogard. And as Shedrick goes to take Hogard down the right lane line, that left elbow, he swings out and hits Edwards. So Doug Schau's and Vladimir Voyard-Tadal on the headsets. The only thing I didn't like after Shedrick is the face he makes, and then he continues swinging.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's inadvertent. And that's what the call is?
Yep.
But again, with player safety, anything above the neck will always be looked at. Flagrant, you need it to be unnecessary, and it can't be a basketball play. Unnatural, unnecessary. And then Shedrick is fouled as he catches that basketball in front of the Vanderbilt bench. I think what Mark Byington may have wanted was a foul there on Shedrick on that drive by Hogard.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
It wasn't whistled.
Yeah, he wanted. Yeah.
It's 74-67, and Shedrick to the line. He hit a bucket early in this half. He's got 8, along with 3 rebounds, and he's done a good job playing with 4 personal fouls. In and out, no good. 74-67. Tanner leaves. Edwards back in. 1 minute exactly remaining. 74-67 Texas. Shedrick gets another free throw as both teams double bonus. Second dances in. 9 for Shedrick, who leaves for Jason Kent. And now Mark is going to force Hogard to pick up that ball in the backcourt. They hadn't the previous 3 times. Edwards straight away. Hogard gives to him. Edwards down the left lane line and a reach-in foul by Kent. Clock stops and Edwards at the line. 51.6 remaining. And Rodney Terry will go offensive-defensive substitutions. After this first free throw, Pope and Shedrick will come in.
But Edwards says if he makes the free throws now, they have a chance to cut the lead, the clock stopped, and then get in their press.
First free throw, that one hits the front rim and crawls through. And that's the big thing about makes, is you can set up your defense.
Absolutely. Texas has done a good job against the press, though. Vandy, I don't think, is a real pressing team as a rule. They're pressing because they've been behind, but they're not it's just not something they do often.
Missing the second. Shedrick the rebound, 75-68. Now Mark in the backcourt is fouled by Edwards. It was a big miss. I don't want to say a scrambled floor, not a broken floor, but to not be able to set up that defense after the make. Edwards with the miss and keeps it a 7-point game, 75-68.
But there are coaches that press after made and missed free throws, especially in this situation when you're behind the game, because you don't expect to press on a missed free throw.
Correct.
Some coaches do it.
76-68 as Mark makes the first. Is 8 of 10 from the line, 5 of 6 in this second half. 76-68 with 47 seconds left. Texas by 8. Make it 9. Mark has 19. He and Trey Johnson leading scorers. 18 for Jalen Edwards to lead Vanderbilt. Hogard, top of the arc. Hogard by the right elbow. Now steps back beyond the arc. Rebound. Edwards, left corner. Zip up top. It is stolen by Kent. Comes into the front court. Leaves for Johnson, and he is fouled. And with Jason Kent, with that steal, may have secured this win for Texas. And that's today's Allstate Good Hands play of the game. You're in good hands with Allstate. Texas has been in good hands with Jason Kent. Not just that steal, but he has come off the bench. 10 rebounds for Jason Kent. And with that last foul on Hogard, his 5th. Tyler Tanner will come in for him. So Kent to the line. Missed both free throws in the first half. Has missed all 3 free throws. Those 10 rebounds match the 10 he had, sorry coach, against Mississippi State. His career best though is 20 against Drake, and misses both free throws. 77-68 front court. Edwards. Boy, good closeout by Mark. Edwards could not fire the 3. Under 20 seconds. In the paint, Tanner lays that in. Freshman has 7. Down 7. Vanderbilt. And a timeout by Trey Johnson. 77-70. Texas, the 7-point lead with 17.7 to play as the Longhorns look to advance. These are the games in this tournament. And because you don't know, is Texas on the outside looking in? Have they done enough in the SEC? Vanderbilt thinks it does, but Mark Byington hasn't been happy. He hasn't gotten the results. They came in having lost 2 in a row. You like to have a good feeling going in to a tournament. Now they got to sit and wait. Their resume is strong enough, right? Texas is trying to make that resume even more impressive. As we talked about, if you're going to play 18 games in the SEC, your net is going to be lower and lower. Just because every Tuesday, Wednesday, every Saturday, you're being tested. And I love your point. It doesn't have to be against ranked teams. Good luck going into Georgia, right? And trying to beat the Bulldogs there.
Your net might be going down, but it might be going up also. Because you're playing a really good team. You know, that goes both ways.
But there are so many quad 1 opportunities. And then if you're on the road and you're in the upper half, there's now quad 1As.
Well, the strength of the league this year, the overall strength of the league, helps the teams on the bubble.
Totally agree.
With their strength.
Totally agree.
No question.
And I'll say this, Coach, I don't know if I want to play one of those teams in the NCAA tournament because they've been tested so many times this year. And then you look at so many of these schools, they test themselves in the non-conference.
Oh, yeah. You know, that's one of the things I think has made SEC basketball so much better. They've upgraded their non-conference.
Yes. Pope and Johnson. Trey throws to Pope in, out of bounds to get the ball in, and then Pope is fouled. 77-70. Tyler Tanner has to commit that foul as the clock keeps dripping away. 16 seconds left. 77-70 Texas. And Pope to the line. Where he has 12, 9 of them have come in this second half. Been a perfect 3 of 3 from the line. Make it 4 of 4. 86% this season from the line. Jordan Pope. 2 years under Wayne Tinkle at Oregon State. 78-70. He makes both. It's now 14 for him.
And again for Texas, number 2, Kendall Weaver.
Kendall Weaver in. The inbound to Edwards will race into the front court. 15 seconds left. All the way to the hoop, lay it up, and in for Edwards. 10.6 remaining, 79-72 is the Texas lead. Trey Johnson finds Kaluma. Vanderbilt's going to back off. Texas just needs to bring the ball into the front court, and the Longhorns advance. 79-72 over the Vanderbilt Commodores. Texas takes on Texas A&M tomorrow at 2:30 here in Nashville. Vanderbilt ends its season losing its last 3, 20-12. Texas gets its 18th win, 18-14. Coach, when they took the lead at 9-7, they never gave it up.
Well, I think the size, the physicality of Texas was a factor in the game, but they're just deeper. They play more guys, and they're good players. They don't put bad players on the floor even when they go to the bench. So they're just deeper than Vanderbilt, and so they have more players, better players, and it just showed in this game.
The balance for them, I think not just the 4 in double figures. Shedrick had 9. He was almost in double figures. What Kendall Weaver did off the bench and what Jason Kent did off the bench. It wasn't in points, but I thought it was in impact.
Weaver in particular.
I agree.
Kent, what 10 rebounds, something like that, yeah.
Jordan Pope comes over. How about these numbers? 14 points. He made all 5 of his free throws. 4 of 7 from the floor. He was one of 4 in double figures. And Jordan Pope, kind enough to join. Thank you for joining. Congratulations on the win, first and foremost.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
We're talking about it, Coach and I. Everybody contributed in this one. The deep bench, 4 in double figures, but Kendall Weaver comes in. He was the difference. Jason Kent on the boards. When Texas does this, the Longhorns are how dangerous, Jordan?
We're extremely dangerous. We know we're deep. We have a lot of talent on this roster, and we all have roles. Each and every game, we try to go out and maximize our role and do what we need to do, and, we're confident that we get the job done every night out.
Coach was watching so many good things. You can see almost the smile on his face.
Here's what I like what he said. He said we all know our roles. Not many players will accept their roles. Everybody wants to score.
Right.
Some guys have to defend. Some guys have to rebound. Some guys have to throw it to the other guys. So when those coaches define the roles, and when a team of players, if you're willing to accept those roles, and not many teams are.
Correct.
Or not many players are. Right. I've had players that resisted their role. That makes Texas a good team and a dangerous team.
Yeah, like I said, we all have roles. It's do or die time. We got to buy in. We all trust each other. That's the thing. We all trust each other down the line, and we know we all play to our potential. Sky's the limit.
So Trey Johnson doesn't have to score every time down the floor for you then?
Nah. We got to help him out a little bit. He's a superhero kind of, but every night he might need some help. That's our job.
He does wear the cape now. He does wear